All right. Hang on. Do I not have this set up here? Hang on. There we go. Okay. Welcome to the stream. What's up, Jerry? Well, I wanted to do, we've seen most of these creators before, but I wanted to do like collect a bunch of the similar personalities and creators in the same space, on the in the same stream. This is like the sector of like women who give advice to guys or who kind of got a little bit of doomer or a little bit of black pill sometimes. Say, self improvement, that kind of stuff. Some of it's red pill-ish, but some of it's not. It just depends. What's up, G? Thanks. But I tried to get a good variety. I feel like some of them get more views than others, but I think they're all are all qualify as being part of the Boyd. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for GCW. We're gonna do a double or no, I'm sorry, JCW. Yeah, I'll be back for JCW double episode. But let's get started here. This is Helen. This video has, let's see, 108 views from 2 weeks ago. And it's called You Had to, what is it? It had to burn down for you to build even bigger.
It had to be burned down. It had to be burned down. Because when things burn, it creates ash. Just like a forest burning. It burns and then it actually creates this like new land for things to grow. And the ash is nutrients for the soil and things can start anew. I'm hearing like you had to go through a burning phase. You had to burn it all down. It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. And I'm hearing like it lasted for years, guys. Like it literally lasted for years. You had to go through this burning phase. You had to. But some part of you was like, I know this is not how it's always going to be. But it was at the same time 111 on the timestamp.
I should mention too, if you don't know, like there's a lot of kind of mystical crossover in this arena as well, like tarot cards, manifesting, that kind of stuff.
Hard to believe that it could be different, that your life could be different, because it's kind of felt like one big burning plot for your whole life. Like it's felt like one big burning plot. And that's like my ear's kind of popping.
What's up?
That's like a sad way to look at life, right? When you look back and you're like, honestly, I've just continuously been going through it for my whole life. When you have that perspective, but when you just switch it to like, oh, okay, so I really was just like learning myself. I was learning who I am. I was gaining the wisdom. I was becoming. And I'm never gonna stop becoming. But there's like this like
she was becoming.
This attitude that you can have sometimes. I'm hearing like in the recent years of like, okay, I guess life's just always going to be like this. And the universe is coming in immediately and they're like, don't claim that.
When she says hearing, she means she's hearing from like a guiding voice beyond the veil that's giving her this advice to give to people. What's up, crew? Looks like she's into reflexology.
Claim that.
Oh, this?
No, it's not. And it's actually not even possible for you to claim that because they got other plans. They got other plans for you. So just know you're hitting a season of change. It's shifting. It's shifting. It's really, really shifting. You hear that honk? It's completely shifting.
Hear that honk?
but it really had to burn.
Wow. What a powerful read.
Really. But it really had to burn. It had to all fall away. For it to come back together. It had to all fall away. All of it. Because you had to get to the core.
Hey, corn dog.
You had built up so much like plaque, I'm hearing, around who you
Hearing?
are.
Who's sending her messages about plaque?
Like hiding who you are. And you were kind of just like forcing yourself, like almost like if you were on a leash, like you were just forcing yourself to like move through life
is that
with
Lalo?
all of this like heaviness and plaque, and it was like you were a dead weight. Or you had dead weight. And that's just been burned right off, and yes, that's uncomfortable because it brought you to your core. It brought you to your core. It literally brought you to the depths of yourself.
I love this relaxing video with this long truck or whatever going by.
I just saw it brought you to your core. It literally brought you to the depths of yourself. I just saw a flock of birds fly. But it's like that is what you needed to be able to fly. But it's like I just saw a flock of birds fly.
Hey, JC.
But it's like that is what you needed to be able to fly, to be able to move, to be able to go to the next thing, to be able to have the next experience. It needed to crumble. It needed to tower.
Ben needed to be broken down so that he could be rebuilt even stronger. Except for his back.
It needed to tower. Oh my gosh, the tower has been real lately, guys. Like, the tower has been real. Just like hearing everything needed to come down. But at the same time as everything coming down, the veil needed to be lifted. You needed to see.
I think it just wasn't of any real, I mean, if you look back at the 80s and 90s movies, like the celebrities have normal looking teeth a lot of the times, except for like, you know, certain ones. But like, it's not unusual just to see a person with like regular teeth. But like, if you look at Hollywood now, like pretty much everybody has those like turkey teeth. I think it's just more of a priority in the social media age, maybe.
To see.
Your timing is dead on, though.
So yeah, it's been a rough year. I just heard. So yeah, if you're going through a crazy time, that makes sense. It's the year, I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, it's the year of the fire horse, guys. Like, burning. But it feels like this is kind of your, like, last haul of burns. And that's just like giving me goosebumps. It's like literally like it's seriously coming together for you.
Also, just maybe we're more a superficial really society unknown, too.
But the universe is dropping abundance and beautiful.
Did you hear that? Universe dropping abundance.
Things, beautiful energy into your lap. Because there's nothing blocking it now. Your lap was like filled. It was filled with this plaque. It was filled with this dead weight. It was filled with this stuff that you didn't even want.
Let me introduce the next clip in case I forget. It's from I Exist, who has commented on, apparently on a couple of Luke West videos, but she's definitely one of the, as far as like Boit creators in this space, she's one of the more popular.
that you were hiding behind.
Her video is called Misery, by the way.
It's like now you can just be real and be seen. And yeah, that could be scary. That could be terrifying.
Oh my God.
No better option. There's no better option, guys. Because I'm hearing like this, like, yeah, this feeling of like, oh, my life has always been like this, like whatever.
I wish
like,
she'd sit that close the whole time.
It feels like you've been through some depressive periods, maybe recently, where it's like you're trying to show up.
Speaking of depressing periods, somebody asked earlier where Bethadone was. She's on her moon time.
Things, but it is so hard, especially the things for like your mental health and your well-being. Yeah, it just feels exhausting. It's so hard. But you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Because I'm just feeling like you haven't given up. You haven't given up.
Who knows with that guy? If he's wanting to grow his channel, I mean, and she's willing, like, well, let's be real. If she's willing, he should be down because he's in a terrible situation. He's boxless. He's boxless. But yeah, if she's open to it, he should do absolutely whatever she wants of him and just never fall into her ill graces and just dedicate his life to her would be the best choice for him if she would have him.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that you actually asked for in this life, of like with your guides, of like, no, you're gonna get to the lowest of lows in like your soul journey, like your soul content.
How you doing, Stephen David?
Lowest of lows, and you're not gonna give up. You're building this endurance, and you're staying magical. Ooh, you're staying magical.
Also, I like how everybody talks about this chat like it's like the, you know, the Casablanca of the Boyd. But like they always like that until somebody they don't like is, I'm not talking about anybody in specific, but just like they like that vibe until somebody they don't like is allowed to like chat here.
So 8:08 on the clock. Money, money, money. Abundance. Abundance, kids. Abundance. Literally trickling in. Trickling in! Trickle, trickle, trickle. Trickle, trickle, trickle. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know if you watch Tana Mojo, but she always does that sound. Ooh. Ooh. It's like... good.
Did you guys ever watch, Takedown? They've got a decoy on there who, when she's talking to the pedo, she always has him make this, like, noise from a Glorilla song, and it's so bizarre. Like, it really highlights how pathetic those guys are.
Okay, thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for bringing your light, and I will see you soon.
All right, here's I Exist. Yeah, if Luke West could, I mean, come on, be real.
Hi guys, I'm making this video because if there's anyone else out there who feels the same way as me, I want you to know you're not alone, and that is the sole purpose of this video, just knowing that you're not alone. Because what I'm going through right now is really painful, and I keep feeling like I'm the only one, but I know I'm not. Maybe there's nobody in my direct circle, like nobody in my life right now that feels the same way I do, but I know that somewhere else in the world there's people that are feeling the same way, and so this video is for you. I feel absolutely 100% miserable. It feels like my soul is on fire. It just feels like I'm dead inside. The feeling doesn't go away. Nothing is making me happy. I don't really eat much or drink much or use the bathroom, you know, just basic things to take care of myself. It's been hard. That's how bad depression can get when like the simple things in life just suddenly become so difficult. I've been trying really hard these past few days. I even like did my makeup today. Like I'm trying so hard to do things, even if it's little things, but it's so hard. And I just keep feeling like I'm alone. And I keep feeling like I'm a failure. I feel like no matter what I do, I'll never be good enough. And my brain is completely convinced
It's so
of
relaxing.
that. And it feels like nothing or anyone can change my mind. And I just feel really, really bad about myself. Something else that's contributing to my depression is that my husband is away from me for a while. He's in the US, I'm in Italy. I miss him a lot, so it hurts. And then also, if you guys have seen my last video where I talk about the situation with my mom and the lawyer, that whole thing really hurt. Like, I haven't even been leaving my house since that happened because I just feel like absolute garbage. I feel unloved. I feel misunderstood. I feel sensitive. I'm very, very sensitive about what people say to me and what people say about me. I don't know what to do.
She seems like a sweet lady, yes.
I'm on antidepressants, but it feels like they haven't been working the past few days for whatever reason. Last time they weren't working too well because I stopped taking them for a little bit, which I shouldn't have done. But then I started to feel better again. I got back on track. And now, for whatever reason, it feels like it's not working. And I think it's because I keep room rotting. I don't really eat much or drink or use the bathroom or basic things. And it's like, then I start to feel sick. I get nauseous a lot. My bones and my muscles start aching. And usually by that point, I do go eat something because
Just like grim
don't wanna
ASMR.
die. And yeah, it's been really hard. I feel like I don't belong anywhere in the world. I feel like I'm a really horrible person and like nobody knows that. Like I feel like I'm like a really messed up person and like sometimes it scares me. I don't know if I could even talk about it. I just like really like wholeheartedly believe that like I'm crazy. And I just try every day to mask it and like pretend like I'm completely normal and boring. And sometimes I do that really well. Other times I could get kind of silly and stuff, but there's still...
Kind of silly? Do you think when she says silly, she means it in the same context that methadone clinic might mean silly?
A side to me that I just feel like no one really sees. And it doesn't feel good to hide my true self in this world, you know?
We welcome your true self. I exist. Luke West will not welcome your true self. He'll expect you to do everything and then he'll do nothing and complain to his chat about it.
I feel like everyone's love is so conditional. And even when people say that it isn't, I don't believe them. It already feels like I'm losing a lot of people in my life. And it almost just seems pointless to make more friends or to, I don't know, stay connected to people. It's just this pain, it's like eating me up. Like I feel like nothing. Sometimes I want to be nothing. I don't know.
Based.
I don't know what's happening. Some people think my life is good. In some ways it is. I'm thankful that I have a place to live, I have food. I was traveling quite a bit, which is my passion. That was nice. I'm married. You know, I have a loving husband. I have 2 wonderful dogs. Like, you know, there's so many nice things that I have, but for some reason, like, I'm just absolutely 100% miserable.
Oh, let me introduce the next clip in case I forget. It's got 35 views from a month ago. That's pretty fresh from the Boyd. I Exist in this video is one of the bigger creators in the Boyd section of this. Hers got, this one here is 6.3K views. So the next person is the Inspired Introspect with a 35 view video about necessary suffering.
And it feels like nothing can fix it. I feel like I focus a lot on all the bad things that happen in the world. I feel like there's just so many horrible things going on, and sometimes I just feel like I can't take it anymore. And so I just kind of pretend like none of that's real and none of it's happening, and I just have to focus on my own life. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say, except I'm really not happy, and I'm just leaving this video out there for anyone to comment on, especially people who feel the same way. I hope that this video finds you, because you're not alone. And I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Thank you, I Exist.
Why is there so much suffering in a perfect universe? Why would God allow this? Is a big and important question. I want to talk about the difference between necessary and unnecessary suffering. I think parsing these out and recognizing them, that not all suffering is necessary, but that some of it may be, is very important, because sometimes with like spiritual bypassing type of stuff, it's just like, well, the universe is perfect, so everything that happens is perfect, and all the suffering and everything is just part of that perfection. And I can understand how—
Do you find that, I want to say this, we're 40 seconds in, do you find the hair touching to be a red flag or no?
Maybe on the highest level, there's some truth to that. But there is such a thing as unnecessary suffering. And when I say suffering, that's just the word I'm using. I could use the word pain, I could use the word discomfort, and maybe I'll use those words kind of interchangeably, even though all of them actually have a subtle difference to them. But here's how I'm gonna say this, that there is a difference between the pain and suffering and darkness that free will beings cause from ignorance versus the suffering that
free will beings
comes in to correct that ignorance. We do not need to have the level of evil, darkness, pain, suffering that we have in this world. This is not necessary. Our reality could be so much more peaceful.
You think there are a lot of contributing a lot of circumstantial evidence? What about this thing over here, the praying? Oh, you can't see it because of my camera. Hang on. There's like this praying fairy.
Loving and easeful. Free will beings make choices that have ripple effects and consequences for all. And when a certain momentum of those ripple effects and consequences builds, there can be more and more free will beings that disconnect from their own truth.
Well, the title of this stream isn't Women I Want to Date. It's women within a certain genre on YouTube.
Love and power to also make decisions that create more darkness, distortion, and ignorance. And we are in a very fallen world where there is so much choice, where people are choosing darkness and ignorance, but at the same time it doesn't even feel like a choice, because we're just born into ignorance. And we make choices because it's all we know, when all you know is pain, suffering, and darkness. And
35 views, that just seems crazy low. She's aesthetically pleasing herself. Her backdrop would appeal to people who would want to listen to this type of stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good thumbnail. I don't know why she. I think she actually. I think she used an AI thumbnail.
You act out of that place. You're not even aware of what we're doing.
Yeah, she used the very first frame from the video, and then she put like an AI backdrop behind her. It's still an eye-catching thumbnail, but I'm just surprised 35 views.
So really, it's ignorance. It is ignorance. Evil is ignorance. And I even think even some of the most evil people on this planet are actually a lot less ignorant
Precious
of
moments.
spiritual truths than we think. Like, they know a lot about a lot of things.
Hey, Scott.
About a lot of science fiction type of things. Time travel, advanced technologies, cloning, all these things, multiple dimensions, you know, what NASA lied about versus what is actually true about our science.
All of this is just immediately I'm resonating with this chick.
What history is distorted and lied about versus what is actually
Yes,
true about our
queen.
history. And so in a certain way, those evil people that have suppressed a lot, and not even just people, but evil beings within this realm that have suppressed.
We know who she's talking about, don't we? Sick, evil freaks. The SEFs.
Suppressed a lot of the truth and the true history and the true science and the true nature of spirituality. Like, in a sense, they actually know a lot and are not ignorant of those things, but if they are acting from that place of needing to control.
You guys remember Razzlecon? I feel like this chick is if Razzlecon didn't get into the crypto rap game.
And suppress others, they are clearly ignorant of what matters most, the most foundational truth of the universe, which is love. But anyway, I digress. My point here is that we never have to choose
Vince Russo pacing with the promo.
Evil. Oftentimes we do as a momentum effect of living in a world with so much trauma. When people talk about non-duality and how there's no such thing as good or bad, it all just is, I think they're tapping into some deep truths about how God and the universe will use your reality to mirror things to you. And the things,
based on what I've seen so far, I mean, it could be possible that she is, but I don't think she specifically referenced it in this video, the reptilian thing.
That feel uncomfortable, or that the human...
Well, she said free will beings. So does that mean, what are the other kind of beings that don't have free will?
In mind or ego might label as bad are not inherently bad if they are leading you closer to the truth. And so that is what I would call necessary suffering, which is when you have unnecessary suffering going on, then what comes in to counterbalance that is necessary suffering. And that necessary suffering is not any kind of punishment. God does not punish. There is no punishment. There is only unconditional love, forgiveness, understanding.
Sounds like a Ben Thorpe quote.
Acceptance. Punishment. There's any kind of punishment. God does not punish. There is no punishment. There is only unconditional love, forgiveness, understanding, acceptance. God sees us for our ignorance and does not judge us for that. But will the self-correcting nature of the universe that is trying to lead us to our own liberation will give us experiences that might be perceived.
Oh, let me tell you about the next clip. It's Mariah Rain, 480 views. You've awakened to the truth.
The human as uncomfortable or difficult or bad, because it is ultimately for the highest good, and ultimately what the highest good is the liberation of all beings back out of their ignorance and into a state of illumination of love. Now, this is different from unnecessary suffering, which is when we choose to make things much harder than they need to be by hurting others, by lying, by acting out of fear, by doing dark things, by falling from grace. We then put out into the universe more unnecessary
wow,
suffering.
Gee, thanks.
And that suffering is still held within a field of unconditional love, and we're not judged for those choices, but they do have an impact and they do matter. So any kind of spiritual teaching that kind of gets you to transcend into like, nothing really matters, like, it's all just the perfection, it's all just zen and love and light. No, that's not true. Actually, your actions matter a lot. Do you want to create unnecessary suffering? Or do you want to face the necessary suffering, to correct the unnecessary suffering. So,
Man, that kind of like put
when
me in
God and the
a
universe presents us with painful circumstances or challenges that
inflicted a dazed debuff on me there for a second.
are meant to grow us, it is ultimately only meant for our liberation so that we don't have to experience the unnecessary suffering any longer. All right, I think that's what I'll say on that. Thanks.
Divine.
Oh man, I feel like I need to smoke a cigarette or something. I'm smoking some weed, I guess. I wanted to remind you of what her name is on here. The Inspired Introspect. I can't believe that. Again, 35 views just seems criminal for that. And then, so that's The Inspired Introspect. This is Mariah Rain. I'm sorry.
Beautiful, beloved. You have clicked on this video because you have reached a really huge accomplishment.
You got it.
This huge accomplishment is in knowing the truth. You have awakened to the truth. And that is what we do when we connect to the higher consciousness that is us. We connect to our inner truth. And maybe in the past you would have felt confusion. Maybe in the past you would have thought that the truth meant something else entirely. But now you have reached a greater level.
I'm getting there,
This
Stephen
video
David.
is only reaching people who are now at this.
I'll probably crest around what's the name of her Amanda's channel? It's like Girlfriend's Guide for Guys.
Greater level. So speak it in the comments. I have reached this greater level of truth. And what that truth is, beloved, what that truth is knowing that regardless of what this world shows you,
What is that? Some kind of like a power crystal? Is that something that like she gains like extra clairvoyance points while she's holding it? Is it like an enchanted item?
Regardless of what the media is telling you, regardless of whatever is happening, you now know that your truth is that you are connected to the ever-expanding abundance that is. You are encompassing it all. And when you tap into the all-expansive abundance that
Everything about this video to me is like the tone, her attitude, her inflection, like the tone, just the general, everything about this is weird to me in a very good way.
is, you see the truth that you are loved, worthy, safe, provided for, protected, radiant, and always connected to source.
We've got a special coming up soon about chakra alignment, Stephen David. That's a good synchronicity.
You are always source embodied. You are always anchored into the God being that you are. Sometimes we just forget.
Sometimes.
Anchored into the God being that you are. Sometimes we just forget. Sometimes we believe
Oh my God.
that the truth is something else. And we believe that the truth is something else.
Wow.
And it lowers our frequency and just.
What in the world?
Sometimes we believe that the truth is something else. And it lowers our frequency and just.
This is to me this is 5-star content.
Connects us from this knowing. But that doesn't mean that source ever left you.
Source.
No. It only attempted to disconnect you from the knowing temporarily because you are always going to return to this knowing.
Stephen David, I'm living on the end of a lightning bolt.
That the truth
Her
is
vibe is just
regardless of what you see
completely off the rails to me. I don't know.
or hear, you are always abundant. Source always
What?
are always abundant. Source always loves
Is
is
the way that she's choosing to inflect her voice, is that part of the source or
regardless of what you see or hear, you are always abundant. Source always loves you because you are an extension of it.
well,
The only thing that keeps us stuck, the only thing that keeps us away from this truth is believing those lies.
I mean, she's got a good promo. She's been going through this whole thing and she hasn't really stumbled and she's been consistently getting weirder and weirder through the video. I mean, look at this. This looks like a she's got to be real, right?
And I'm so glad we're here together in this space because now you know that this is truth.
Now I'm
That the
skeptical.
truth is you are always loved, you are always abundant, you
Is this Minar using an AI filter?
are always provided for. It's just a matter of believing it and tapping into it so deeply, so wholly, so steadily and consistently with each given moment. It's so beautiful. And soon,
Man,
something really amazing is going to happen for you to provide you confirmation. And when it does, I want
she
you to
moves her
return
hand
to
like Akeem, the African Dream, back in WWF. He'd always do those hand motions.
this video and let me know about it. So save this video.
Okay, let me introduce the next clip while we're... This is, again, Mariah Rain, 480 views. Next up, we got another kind of bigger creator in the space, Kaylin Marissa. That video's got 8.6K, called Women Love Drama.
And come back to me when the miracle happens, because not only is this going to
Stephen David, after the miracle happens, let her know, she said.
amplify the energy for yourself, it is also going to show others that when you fully believe in the truth of your abundance, that more of it shows up miraculously in your life fast. This is the law.
Wow.
This is the
Whatever this woman wants in life, they should just give it to her.
way.
I feel like.
And you are so safe to believe this. You are so safe to embody this frequency. And if you need some assistance, feeling safe in embodying this frequency,
Like, imagine her as the jilted girlfriend in a Lifetime movie. Can you imagine? With these, like, the way her eyes look and, like, her facial expressions and her mannerisms.
I just dropped a really awesome activation.
Like, imagine her confronting you about finding another girl's number in your phone. Like, can you imagine how terrifying that would be?
You can listen to
Be like activating that blonde in the Species movies.
before you go to bed, upon waking up.
What's up, Get Cracked for me? Thank you for the 237. Mark introducing us to crazy as fuck white women's again. Yes. That's pretty much one of the themes of the day. Thank you, Get Cracked. I appreciate that, man.
My activations are so powerful.
Wow.
They have changed the lives of so many.
Her activations are so powerful that it's changing. I believe her. I believe her.
Many people. And if you go check out my shop, you will see the reviews.
Go check out the shop.
It's just
Oh, I should mention that also a lot of the creators in this sector are not just content creators. They have like different products or courses that they sell as well.
so beautiful to know the power we hold when we tap in to the higher consciousness that we are and all of the abundance that always lives. Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, you're here now because you know the truth. And once you know this truth,
I'm going to cancel the remaining matches and just name this chick Mariah Rain as the Boy Madness winner.
there is no going back.
Wow, thank you for being you and being here now. Wow. Get cracked, man. What a moment. All right, Kaylin Marissa is up next.
Women are consuming poison, and they're calling it entertainment. I can't open anything on my phone without being bombarded by women that I know in my area and women all over the world obsessing over shows like Love Island, The Bachelor, these degenerate reality TV shows.
Yes.
I can't believe you guys watch this stuff. You gotta stop. It's brain rot. It's rotting your brain. I've never really understood the fascination with this. I always thought it was weird that people really liked these shows. However, now that I look on it, now that I'm a little bit older, women love drama. They survive off of drama. I've seen it time and time again through things like a stable relationship. A woman can be in a stable relationship.
She might be the first one we've seen so far who takes kind of the pearly things approach of not so much telling the guys that watch that they're really valuable or worthwhile, but just that other women are terrible. Which, you know,
and
freedom of speech.
She will create unnecessary drama just to have some sort of entertainment through that drama. Now, of course, they do this subconsciously. And even me, myself, I think that I do this as well. I try to be conscious of it, but I realize that, okay, why am I being a little bit unnecessarily emotional right now? Am I trying to cause some sort of, debate or conflict or drama just for entertainment? So even myself, someone who's aware of these things and aware of the natural ways that women act without thinking about it, I still do it sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and act perfect, okay? But let's go back to these shows I'm talking about. I can't even begin to process the interest people have in these shows. They're completely fake. They're completely scripted. Why are you investing your energy?
Look how mad she is about. She's like airing them sound, man. She's really wound up here.
Time into these shows. Why are you investing your attention into these?
Listen, girl, I like Love After Lockup, okay?
Attention is currency. Where you put your attention is where things flourish.
That's
Whether
true.
That's negative or positive, it's going to have an effect on you. So if your wife or your girlfriend likes these shows, you should be worried because
Oh wow. She's really coming after him.
Principle.
Listen, if your girlfriend likes to watch Love Island, dump her ass. That's what she's saying.
And even without realizing it, they can be influenced to do things that are
What's
negative
up, Daniel
to their life
Newsom?
and the people around them, and they can be
Mousson, Daniel
influenced to
Mousson.
think that is better and that is good. Women power, women empowerment, woohoo! So what do these shows promote? Well, if you have a brain and it's working, you'll know that these shows promote promiscuity, cheating,
Hell yeah.
a lack of pair bonding,
Let's
betrayal, impulsiveness,
Based.
conflict, gossiping, all sorts of things that don't come from God. They don't come from a good place. They're all the most degenerate, disgusting things in human nature. Jealousy is another one, okay? So let me just pretend right now I'm a woman.
I love the the clapping for emphasis.
Probably gossip a little bit with
I like how wide the scope of approaches and personality types are in this little space too.
my boyfriend or my friends or my family about my day at my work and the people there. And then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to waste my time turning on a show with half-naked women and half-naked men that are just trying to hook up with each other. Nothing more, nothing less. It's completely scripted. It's totally fake. And then I'm going to take my phone, take a picture of the screen, post on my Instagram talking about how much I want this guy to do this girl and how much this girl shouldn't have done this and this girl was blah, 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 blah. How much filler this girl has, how much better this girl looks than the other one, how this girl reacted. Why are you here?
Is this essentially just this is girlfriend simulator content, right? This is like the girl unloading about her drama with other women. You know what I mean?
No one cares. I mean, clearly, obviously, people care. But what? What kind of clown world are we living in? What kind of clown world are we living in? I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. I'm going to sit down, watch the show, take a picture, and then talk about these people who are completely fictional because the characters are made up. They are told how to act. They're told what to do. It's completely scripted. The producers sit down and they write out this whole degenerate plot to keep you addicted. How can you not know that? And if you do know that, how
Wow.
can you continue to watch that knowing it's completely fake? If you're a woman, especially, you need to protect your brain. You need to protect your mind. In the Bible,
You don't think she would like Fusion Studios? No, probably not. But I think she would appreciate. She seems like somebody who appreciates free speech. I think she would appreciate that aspect.
I've mentioned this before in another video. The Bible mentions to protect your mind a lot. It emphasizes that really. And it's important for everybody to protect their mind from different things.
I mean, if you are the same religion as her, what she's saying makes sense. Like, you know, if you watch stuff that's degenerate, you're probably going to be good chance you might be at least a little bit more degenerate than you might be, but that's like if you agree with her religiously.
Pornography, of course. Exposure online.
Yes, POV, your girlfriend just got off work. Exactly.
Things that could lead them into temptations. And
Like, there's no attempt to, like, be soft, or she's just, like, dead ahead.
Thoughts.
It's just for the gentlemen who prefer a little bit more dom experience.
I'm not a man, so I don't struggle with those things. Can't speak directly on them. But I'm a woman, and what I can speak on is our minds and how easily influenceable they are. Okay? You can go into a show like these degenerate pieces of trash. You can go into them knowing they're fake. You can go into them knowing all that. And you can still fall into the trap of believing the ideas they're pushing, okay? Which is crazy, but it's just true. We are weak.
She reminds you of the devil. Wow.
Females are weak-minded. Women are weak-minded. I don't care who you are. You can be the strongest woman ever. You still have flaws and weaknesses in your mind, okay? That's why it's extremely important that you protect your mind with all possible routes. TV, music, the friendships you have, the conversations you have, the things you talk about, the way you talk about things, okay? You've got to be constantly self-analyzing and adjusting and removing what doesn't work and doing more of what does work, okay? So one of those things is the shows you watch, like I just mentioned, and let's just break down what do these shows promote. I've already talked about some things like betrayal, impulsiveness, jealousy, promiscuity, cheating, lack of pair bonding, all this junk.
Lack of pair bonding.
Family unit. What else is it teaching women? It's teaching us to seek attention. The more attention you can get as a woman, the better. So that fuels the fire of the female competition, because you can see in these shows, which I've never watched, by the way. I've just seen clips through online social media and people posting on their stories, but clearly it's so evident. It promotes the female competition, but in the wrong way, if there's even a right way. It promotes, oh, the more skin I show, the better I am than her. Or the more I put out myself, the better I am than her. The more I...
Remember that lady on Donahue when we had the last trash TV stream that had slept with 2,500 guys back in 1990?
I make snide comments about this girl, maybe this guy will like me, which is all fake, as we know.
Which is a huge number when you factor in hoflation since then.
I've mentioned that multiple times here already, but it's done this way for a reason, to promote that to the women watching, because who are the main audiences? The women. And if you can corrupt the minds of all the women, you can corrupt the minds of the household, and so on and so forth. Or you can even prevent a household from happening, because you've already made this woman hate men, or be a hoe, whatever it may be, and now her value's gone. Another thing these shows promote is lust, okay?
Her value is gone.
This is detrimental to both sides. It's showing basically naked women with men. They're all aroused. They're all going there for one thing and one thing only. No one's there to find love. You don't find love on a TV show. Come on. You don't even find... I guess you can find love on dating apps. That's a whole other video, but a whole bunch of just psyops. It's disgusting, really. Really interfering with the natural human order. But anyways... So you're just promoting this lustful, disgusting, degenerate activity. And I'm not going to speak on the male aspect of this right now, because there's a whole other thing about that, whole separate video. I'm talking about women, okay? Because I am a woman, as I keep stating. I want to make that clear for any women that are mad about the things that I say.
For any women that are mad about what I'm saying.
That's why I keep saying that, because you guys can get mad at guys for talking about that. Think you can, but you can't get mad at me, because I'm a woman and I know how you guys operate. I know how I have operated naturally. It is detrimental to the psyche of women to operate in this manner. Why? Because women pair bond. So what does that mean? If a woman is too ran through that
Oh my
drastically
God.
decreases or diminishes her opportunity to bond with a partner for life after she's already been through the diminish. If a woman is too ran through, that drastically decreases or diminishes her opportunity to bond with a partner for life after she's already been through the runner. If that makes sense.
Through the runner.
Oxytocin. Whenever a woman is intimate with a man, there's an oxytocin release pairing her to that man, okay? Men don't operate the same way. I'm not talking about the moral ethics of men and what they choose to do, but biologically, what happens to men in their brains when they have multiple partners throughout their lifetime is completely the opposite from what happens to women, okay? We're focusing on us women right now. It is biologically against
I love the clapping.
your best interest. Now, completely the opposite from what happens.
I love that this chick was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and make a video and I'm just going to hate on other women. Like,
to women, okay?
what a legend.
We're focusing on us women right now.
We stand a trad queen.
It is biologically against your best interest in the future of your generation and your children. It is biologically against you to be a hoe. But these shows, social media, everything promotes it because they don't want you to have a family. They want you to die alone and single with your cat. By the way, cats are going to eat you after you die, by the way. Cat ladies, you guys
By the
love
way.
cats. Cats are the most disloyal animal. Your
Wow.
dog will eat you when you die. He'll die right beside you. He'll go hungry when you're dead in your house. Your cat, single cat lady, she's going to eat you when you're dead. Went off topic. But anyways, the point is to keep you single and alone because your
I'll be
power
right back.
is in the family that you bring up. Your power as a woman is in the family that you create. That is dare I say, that is the only important thing or the most important thing that you, being born a woman, has to do in this lifetime is to have children, have a husband, submit to him, serve him, and raise your children right so that they can do the same thing for the future generations. That is your responsibility. Being a hoe, looking beautiful, being on a TV show, all of those things are there to take your power away. Okay? You're not empowered for participating, for indulging, for consuming that content. None of that is empowerment. You're doing the opposite and you don't even realize it. And when you do realize it, it will be too late for you. Your value will be gone because you will have already given a piece of yourself to everybody for the world to see. People are a lot less likely to accept these ideas through arguments. So if I were to sit here and argue with a woman, oh, you should go out and be promiscuous. You should go out and cheat on your partner. Oh, you can just dump him over an argument. It doesn't matter. There's more guys lined up. Oh, you should compete with her to get this guy's attention. If I just told a girl that, what is that going to do? Not that much, probably after one time of telling her. How am I going to convince her? What these shows do is they brainwash women, especially, through constant exposure. So every woman you see waiting on that new season of Love Island to come out.
Yeah, a lot of deep thinkers on this episode. Oh, let me introduce the next clip in case I forget. This is, of course, Kaylin Marissa. Women love drama. Next one is Cognitive Noise, 2.5K views. It's called Life is Suffering, So Just Surrender.
Oh, she's brainwashed.
Then we really get into it.
She's done for. Those things corrupt your mind. And when they corrupt your mind, they play through the real life actions and then they corrupt your soul. And now you got a whole bunch of problems that you're putting on other people. And a lot of people aren't going to want to deal with those things, rightfully so. They're just not. Why would they? A society doesn't collapse when people start doing evil things. It collapses when people stop recognizing those things as evil and degenerate. And that is what's happening right now. Women, you need to be careful what you repeatedly consume. Human beings become what they consume.
Flora's not really a philosopher or a self-help person.
Whatever you put in comes out, whether you realize it or not. Protect your mind. It's the only thing that you have control over.
You think she drinks dirty sodas?
Nietzsche said a quote, and it sticks with me.
Ooh,
on this
Nietzsche.
topic. He who fights with monsters, lest be careful, thereby he become a monster. Most women think they're just watching entertainment, but when you stare at dysfunction for long enough, the dysfunction starts staring back at you.
Hello guys, I hope you had a good day. I just got home from work and for the past 8 months I have been extremely burnt out. I get to work, I get to school, and I literally can't even complete a task. But today I decided, I'm just gonna take a step back and try to just complete one simple task and see how it goes. And I actually was productive for like 4 hours, so I'm super proud of myself. But with that said, I've been struggling for a while and I don't really know what to do about it. I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to just exist without overthinking, because I constantly am thinking about the future or the past, and I'm never living in that present moment. So
Eric McHenry.
I think that's actually the solution, and the key to leading a better, more fulfilling life is to learn how to just live in the moment. Like, nothing has to be that deep, even though it's really hard to not make things super deep, because I always think, well, why am I doing what I'm doing? If this has no meaning, if this doesn't allow me to fulfill my greater purpose, then why am I even doing it? Then it makes me feel like all of the things I do during my day are super pointless, so then it makes it hard to do anything. So I need to stop looking at my life like this and looking at every single day and putting so much pressure on every single thing
Ginseng dirty soda, that really gets you going.
that I do, because I just stop living. And I literally can't do that anymore. I'm digging myself a hole where I am becoming this evil, nihilistic, rude, insufferable, disagreeable person that people can't stand to be around. Like, I had a meeting with one of my supervisors and they were like, you can't behave like this anymore. It's not professional. Because in group settings, sometimes one of my supervisors, and they were like, you can't behave like this anymore. It's not professional. Because in group settings, sometimes I will freak out and I will be super rude to my colleagues. But it has nothing to do with my colleagues. And it has everything to do with me. For some reason that I can't rationalize, have just hated my life and myself for a long time. So when I get put in really stressful situations and people question me or my work, it's not that I'm super angry that I'm getting a question about the research that I've done. It's me not being able to manage my emotions in a stressful situation, because I am already so stressed and overwhelmed. So then when I get into a stressful situation like a group meeting where I have to present my research, I just completely freak out and I can't rationalize my thoughts and I can't calm down and take deep breaths and answer questions in a manner that isn't me freaking out at somebody and acting like the rudest person in the world. I also just struggle to know if I'm on the right path, but the older I get, I think maybe we won't ever truly know that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We just have to get up every single day and put one foot forward in a specific direction and see where life takes us. So maybe we actually have to just submit and be submissive to the root of life and know that if I just keep on walking forward, I'm probably going to end up somewhere better off than where I started, even if it's not the place that I initially wanted to go. And I know that's the answer. I know that's how, from what I've read and from what I listen to with respect to especially philosophy, I know that's the right way to attack a life, but it's just harder done than said to actually start submitting to life and just letting.
Harder done than said. I don't think I've ever heard it phrased in that way. I've always heard easier said than done, not harder done than said.
Myself live. It is just so hard to live in the moment and let myself be present and let myself grow into the person that I was meant to become. I am my greatest enemy. I am my biggest hater. I am the person that is preventing myself from getting to where I want to go. And I think that is not just me. I think that's a very relatable feeling and a very relatable topic, is being your own worst enemy. Like, why do we...
As Savvy Guy would say, I'm constantly self-sabotaging, and if you watching this video, you probably constantly self-sabotaging too.
all hate ourselves so much. I
Based.
care a lot about what other people think of me. I want people to like me. But when I was younger, I was bullied and I didn't have many friends growing up. Till the age of about 13. I didn't have many friends and the other kids at school didn't really like me. So I feel like I've always carried this insecurity with me that nobody likes me, and if they are pretending to like me, it's all just
I gotta say,
an act.
most of these were new to me people. Like, but I feel like I've gotten entertainment out of like all of them. I feel like there hasn't really been a miss yet. This might be a good genre for Fusion Studios.
And deep down, they actually truly hate me. So I decide to self-sabotage the relationships that I'm trying to build to fulfill the idea that I've already thought, which is that they hate me and they don't want to be around me. And I want to be the person that makes them hate me because I've already thought that they hated me all along. So I would rather prove myself right than be submissive to the idea that they might not like me or they might like me.
No
And
one liked
either
her.
way, both outcomes are out of my hands and it just doesn't matter. I also think that I have like, I don't know, seasonal depression because when it is not...
You know what? I believe somebody that's with this outfit would have... This looks like someone with seasonal depression, I feel like.
I am the worst version of myself. I literally struggle to get out of bed. I struggle to go to school. I struggle to work when it is rainy and cloudy outside. And then all of a sudden, when the weather starts to get better, I'm just fine. It's so crazy because when I was a kid, I was so happy. I was never worried. I was never anxious. And the older I get and the more educated I get, the more anxious I become. I constantly have anxiety about the future. I'm constantly worrying that I'm never doing enough and that nothing that I do is enough. And I just can't stop feeling that way. I don't know what to do. Like, I do know what to do. It's like you can search up a 10-step plan to get rid of your anxiety. You can read 100,000 self-help books, but it's harder to actually fix the problem. It's easier to learn about it and know the right things to do, but it's harder to actually fix it within yourself. It's way harder done than said. It's way easier said than done.
There we go.
And being in a PhD is honestly terrible. It's really, really
She's getting her PhD?
hard. I don't know how people get through these PhDs, and I am on track to complete my PhD, but knowing that I'm going to be in school for 2 more years is such a daunting, traumatizing, terrorizing thought. It gives me so much anxiety that I can't even go to school and get the things done that I need to get done to be on track and continue to stay on track to complete this PhD. It's like a never-ending cycle. It's literally never-ending. I don't know how some people just find it so easy to just exist and do a good job every single day at whatever.
Hey, listen, corn dog, be grateful that you can just wake up and do a good job every day, because she can't do that. Did you ever think about her feelings and all this? Did you try prioritizing her?
They're doing. I'm so in my head all the time. I literally can't get out of it. I can't get out of my head. So it's hard for me to just live in the moment and do the things that I need to do to succeed. I was with a colleague of mine and I asked them, did you ever go through a period of your PhD, because they're an older student than I am, where you just felt super down and you didn't want to come to school and you were just really upset all the time? And they were like, no, never. Like,
She
I
kind of
enjoy it.
seems like, remember that old show, My So-Called Life? It seems like if the best friend had her life together, this is how she would have turned out.
Every single day, and I'm productive every single day. And I'm just like, is that the truth? Or are you just gaslighting yourself? Am I seriously the only one that's not okay out here? Is everybody else really enjoying their time that much and having a 10 out
What's
of 10
Mexican
time?
elk
Am I
cock?
truly the only person that hates it here? And if
that
that
a
is
rapper?
the case, well, is this the right place for me? So I have thoughts like that all the time, questioning, am I doing the right thing? am I on the right path? And it prevents me from moving forward and progressing on the path that I'm actually on. And I'm going to relate this last part to chemistry, and this is the solution to the anxiety and the things that I've been dealing with lately. So my inability to be productive and my constant anxiety that's preventing me from actually being present in the moment because I'm too worried about the future and the past, so I can't actually live in the present moment. This is my solution. It relates to chemistry. So every time two compounds or more than one compound react with one another and they form a product, they proceed through a mechanism.
The what?
And the mechanism is based off of the fundamental principles of chemistry. So each mechanism will follow a specific set of steps that will lead to the desired major products. So this occurs naturally. You can't change the chemistry. So I need to stop trying to change the path of my life. I need to stop trying to change.
This sounds like the kind of shit D-Dog would say at like 2 o'clock in the morning back in the old days.
Change the mechanism that I am set on since the moment that I was born. The moment I was born, God put me on this path. God or whoever, somebody put me on this path that I need to.
You don't like cognitive noise? You don't want to see a return for her?
Stop trying to change. I just need to succumb to the path that I was set on and let whatever's supposed to happen just happen. That's my goal, at least for the next month or few months, is to just let it be. Let it be, let it happen. Stop putting so much stress on doing the right thing, because is there actually a right thing to do? Do any of us truly know what the right answers are? Do any of us even have the right answers? I don't think we do. I don't think we have the right answers, and I think that's
Hey, gobbledygook. This was Monty back in the day.
why being a human is so interesting and so complex, is because I don't think we will be able to fully ever understand our thoughts. We're different than the atoms in that way. I believe that our thoughts are very complex and our emotions are very complex.
Frozen.
And there's so many factors that play into how you feel every single day when you wake up that it's hard to fully rationalize and understand why you feel the way you do. So I think the best way to live a life is to just succumb to it and just say, you know what, I'm just going to let it be.
Mount Hope, baby.
I'm going to stop overthinking. I'm going to stop thinking about the future, thinking about the past, and I'm just going to just...
No, I don't agree with the no personality thing. I think she's got a personality. She's not as colorful or flashy as some of the other ones, but she's interesting to me.
And I need to just, I guess, the Stoics would say, stop fearing death and just learn how to live. And I'm going to learn how to live by deciding to just surrender to the path that I am already on, the path that was meant for me, the path that, I don't know, God put me on. And hopefully one day I will just end up where I was meant to be. Love ya. Hope you guys had a good day. Yeah. And let me know what you want
Oh,
to
whoops, sorry
hear
about that.
and see from me over the next few months. I'm going into my summer term for my PhD, so I
forgot what I said. Next up is Girlfriend's Guide for Guys, which we're getting down to, I think, the 3 biggest names. And she has, she's the most entertaining, she has the biggest personality. She's kind of like the rising star. but I still think one person is kind of still above her in the hierarchy of the genre. But we're gonna kind of skim through one of her lives because her lives have a much different energy than her regular content.
Have a lot more time because I
What's up, Get Cracked for the 6:30? I bet all these crazy as fuck white women live out on the West Coast, Denver or Austin. I think you got the vein of the Comstock load, Mr. Fusion. I do too, because I probably had, and I'm not exaggerating, another 60 creators that I've just found in the last like 2 or 3 days that I could have plugged in for a lot of these.
don't TA. Yeah,
But yeah, the next three I think are like the big three in the space.
so I will be posting more YouTube videos.
All right, now hold on. I got to take it back. This is Girlfriend's Guide for Guys. And this is basically what her lives are like. Thank you, though, Get Cracked. I appreciate that, man. And this has like 700 views, I think.
Subscribe to Girlfriend Guide for Guys. MSW candidate, dating coach, mainly coach for men. I work with men. This is my population. Let me help you. And feel free to donate to the Anything But OnlyFans Fund.
Do I think there's enough? No.
How you all doing tonight? How you guys doing tonight?
Like I said, I think she's the most overall entertaining and probably could be the one to maybe break through into the mainstream.
We're just getting the party started. Oh my gosh. What is that in the sky? It says subscribe to Girlfriend Guide for Guys. I'm a dating coach for men.
We need population control. She's trying to help people get laid.
MSW candidate, I know I joke, but do take me seriously and let me help you. Check my coaching link down below, Girlfriend Guide for Guys, .org for coaching with me. Girlfriendguideforguys.org.
Religion? You know what? I was kind of wondering what the deal was with the worm eating, but I get it now. If Jeremy's religious, it says in the Bible to live like the birds of the field, you know? That's what they do. They eat worms.
Today, we got the leather boots on.
We got the leather boots on. $700 views. That seems like, again, I can't believe it doesn't have way more than that. This is her username right here, Girlfriend Guide for Guys. She's like a dating coach. I don't know. She's not really, I don't know. She's not, definitely not black pill really, but she's not really red pill. She just like gives dating advice and girlfriend simulator content.
And shout out to all of our donors from last week's stream. Shout out to all of our
Oh,
donors
look, you can get your name on a thing and then she'll show it on the camera.
from the last stream. If you were here, shouts out to you, donors. Shouts out. Girlfriendguideforguys.org. I am an MSW candidate. Let me help you. I know what I'm doing. I work with boys and men. Subscribe Donate to the Anything But OnlyFans Fund. So, once upon a time, there was a man. There was a man. Once upon a time, there was a man. And then there was a woman. And this man and this woman, guess what they did? They got married. They made love. They loved each other. And then what happened? What happened? What do you guys think happened next? What do you think happened next to the man and woman? What do you think happened next? COVID-19.
Oh boy.
COVID-19. So man and woman, they were married, and now they're separated because of COVID-19 and technology.
Come on, guys. This is amazing content.
Separating man and woman. And that is the story of man and the story of woman. Alrighty. Okay, and make sure to check out girlfriendguide4guys.org, okay, to book a session with me. I am a coach for men. Sure, you could call it a dating coach, but I'm really a coach for men. Feel free to donate to the Anything But OnlyFans Fund. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you guys. We're trying to blow up the platforms over there. I really appreciate your guys' love and support. Okay, if we have any donors here, anybody that would like a tarot reading, feel free to send a donation of any amount. I would love to read for you. You got any questions on love, relationships, dating, life in general, just let me know. I would love to read for you. But yes, that is the story of man and woman. Once there was man, then there was woman. They got married and made
No, for anything but OnlyFans.
Made love until one day, let me do it again. COVID-19.
Let me say it again.
Came along. And now, man and woman, they go, woo. And now they are separated. That is the new story of man and woman. Alrighty. Just like the Big Bang or the Adam and Eve, we got COVID-19. So man and woman are no longer here. They go here. They are separated. Upon seas of technology and misunderstandings and ideological frameworks, they are now separated. But they wish to be united once again. That is the story.
Correct, gobbledygook. I mean, clearly that's a prime motivator for her, but there are a lot of people in this space that it's kind of unavoidable. And also, I think, like, at least she tries to entertain rather than, like, at least she's entertaining about it.
Story of man and woman.
But yeah, her dating coach thing, I think she has a few different, like, little side hustles.
Yes. No, they weren't. Now technology has isolated them. So, see, COVID-19, what COVID-19 did.
A COVID 304.
Man and woman, right? They were together, okay? Before COVID-19. And then COVID-19 said, hey, separate. Sit at home. Don't leave your house, right? And let this be ingrained in culture. Let social isolation be ingrained in culture. So what happened to the man and the woman? COVID-19, they separated. And now they stand far seas, light years away from each other. And our goal is to reunite man and woman.
You think she stole those signs?
Both remember that, hey, these signs, they don't look that different. Right? Right, everybody?
Right, everybody?
Something else also separated men and women. This thing is called excessive hygiene. Do we isolate ourselves also with our beliefs? Let me ask our friend.
Oh, boy.
Friend, do Do we separate ourselves with our beliefs? This is ZZ the zebra, by the way. ZZ, do we separate ourselves with our beliefs? Yes, we do. In fact, it's our very beliefs and thoughts that make us feel even more separated than the physical barrier. What?
Based.
You're joking. Yes, men and women are alone physically, sure. But what makes them even more isolated is internet ideology. Internet ideology,
Hey, listen, Scott, are you really gonna argue with an obvious expert like Girlfriend Guide for Guys?
Tell me more. Yes, men and women because they love each other a lot. Love quickly turns into hate, unfortunately. Oh no, Zizi, what does that mean? It means both men and women have fallen into internet ideology and now forget the fact that perhaps, maybe, they were made for each other, not to be separated from each other. Zizi, wow. Wow. That is shocking. I know it is. Oh my, wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, Zizi, that is crazy. What about men and women now?
What's up, Jason Bender?
Zizi, please tell me it got better. Please, since COVID-19, did it get better, Zizi, please? No, in fact,
No.
It only got worse. What do you mean it got worse? What do you mean it only got worse? I'm not kidding. It in fact only got worse. It was always bad, but now it's the worst. Because now men and women don't even physically see each other anymore. Dang, Zizi, wow, they don't even see each other?
Wow.
So where is all the ideology coming from? Social...
They don't even see each other anymore.
Isolate each other? So where is all the ideology coming from? Social isolation. We overcomplicate things as humans. We're just socially isolated from each other. What? Zizi, what about women and women's standards? Aren't they too high? Some women's standards may be high, but I would say the average...
Yeah, this could really cause a misunderstanding wherever the signs came from. What's up, JF?
Woman is just looking for a man, and the average man is just looking for a woman. Standards is a concept we hear about online. What? What do you... Oh my gosh, you guys, that was Zizi. You guys, Zizi has some crazy takes. You guys, I don't know what to feel about what Zizi just said. Zizi has some crazy takes. Do you believe in Islam or Judaism? No. But I respect all religions.
Not well.
I'm good, you guys. I'm good. Please, remember, I am... Sorry, I know you're not asking this, but I am...
It's a show about the women who are in, like, the Boyd section of, like, the advice for men and dating tips and kind of black pill, red pill adjacent mysticism. Just the wisdom seekers of you, or wisdom givers of YouTube.
I'm an MSW candidate, and I am a coach for men. My background is working with male children and male adults. So feel free, girlfriendguideforguys.org, if you guys would like to book a session with me. As much as I joke, I am a serious person and I can help you with whatever, and it's a judgment-free zone, okay? But I do have a strong background in IFS.
Every one of her coaching sessions, she's like, okay, tell me your problems. And you tell her, and then she's like, I know what the issue is. COVID-19.
And creating lists of standards and goals, and actually just getting through the pain of the separation in which Zizi was talking about of both men and women. So feel free, you guys.
Yeah, doesn't she work in some kind of family based type business?
And follow me on Instagram and TikTok, okay? Please, my Instagram and TikTok need your love. Because soon we would love to have guests.
I think she's enrolled in the program, so she has some of the credentials, and she's like trying to get to the next step in her education.
on these streams, and the way that we get guests on these streams, you guys, is we go through TikTok. Because I would love to talk to some of you guys right now. No, I did not steal these signs. No, I did not.
There
That
you
would be
go.
cool. Yes, I did, actually. Yes, I did. Hello, Uber Bike! Welcome in. Where are you at, Uber Bike? And I'm sorry if somebody donated and I forgot. That's already in the stream. Shout out to Uber Bike.
Ruby does this kind of stuff, only doesn't she make like the Christmas ornaments and stuff like that?
Welcome in, Uber Bike. So good to see
We need one of those that says McHenry on it.
you. Yes, Zizi. I know. Gosh dang it.
That I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about her. I found her through watching a clip of a guy that like hates her.
Ideologies. I think after COVID, love is measured by centimeters and not passions. Correct. Hello, Raymond. Mr. Ray. Welcome in the chat. Do you like sad romantic music, Amanda? Speaking of sad music, let's turn on some binaural beats. Okay, it's not technically sad music. Have you on the
And then I watched one of her earlier live streams, and I was like, man, because it's kind of like Savvy Guy in his presentations. He's really dark and depressing, but then in his like selfie videos, his selfie dancing videos and singing videos, he's always like really happy.
stream? Perhaps.
Well, to be fair, most of the women on this list that have any kind of a following have a detractor base as well.
Freedom an impediment to love, or an impediment to love, or an asset? Is freedom an impediment to love, or an impediment to love, or an asset? I think it's an asset. Those takes were crazy. They were right on the ball, Amanda. Yes. Alrighty, if anybody would like a tarot reading, feel free to donate any amount, okay? Donate to the Anything But OnlyFans Fund. I would love to read for you guys. I can read on career, future, general, whatever. You can donate literally $1 and I will do
You like her borderline shouting?
a reading for you.
She would be really good at like a expo where she was like showing how to use like a chamois or something, like a ShamWow or some kind of juicer. Like she's got that real like projected voice.
Okay, shout out to our donors from the last stream. Why do men romanticize the past? Now see, is it just men that romanticize the past? What about us women? I perhaps think romanticizing the past is something that both men and women do. And why? Because it's easy to forget the pain of the past. Your brain is not built to remember the pain you went through. You actually will romanticize the past on default because you forget how hard some of those are. Now, that may not be the case for everyone. It really does depend. More stuck in the past. How so? How are we stuck in the past?
Lighting some relaxing candles.
Okay, let's light the cedar, everybody. And if you guys would like a reading, feel free to send a donation of literally any amount. And soon, you guys, it's going to be ad time soon here, all right? It's going to be ad time.
Yeah, it's going to be ad time soon, guys.
Okay. But yes, I think both men and women are both capable of romanticizing the past. If you're talking about pre-technology times, that's a different story, right? But if you're just talking about in general, I think both men and women just romanticize the past for different reasons. And also, I think a lot of it is our brain forgets how much trauma we actually went through. It's easy to romanticize the past when you can't remember the pain, right? Versus
I should get a tarot reading from her sometime.
living in it, we're always
She's a video creator primarily, so she doesn't do a lot of live streams.
remembering the right?
I'd like to get a
Let's see,
reading.
you guys. Should we get started with a collective reading? Right, exactly. And again, it doesn't mean the past was that good. It just means that your brain, trauma brain, could have forgotten how bad the past actually was. Why do you like to do? I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that deep. I just like to pull tarot. If you guys would like to see it tap into any energy, tarot is just based off current energy. So if you guys would like to tap into any energy, feel free to send a donation of any amount. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Uber Bye.
20
Thank
bucks.
you. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go on ad break soon. Thank you so much, Uber Bike, one of our donors. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Uber
Is she
Bike.
ringing a bell for a donation? That's interesting.
Everybody, W in the chat.
Is that like some Pavlov type behavior? Oh, good boy. Ding, 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 ding.
Uber Bike, okay. We are going to ad break soon, but Uber Bike, would you like a tarot reading, or did you want to buy it for somebody else? Thank you so much, Uber Bike. W in the chat for Uber Bike. Hello, Nye. Welcome in. I've not seen your profile here before. Welcome in. We are happy to see you. Amanda, one question. You have a boyfriend that you love, but he has a neurological condition that manifests itself in your boyfriend smelling bad. What would you do in such a situation? I would hope that he gets the help that he needs. What is the history of card reading? History of card reading.
Look, she's still holding it up.
When I did my research, it actually said
This is an individual with her gears are definitely turning. Like she's projecting this like goofy energy, but like deep down she's, you know, ice cold.
it was rather new, modern, but I think people have always been psychics and, you know, that type of thing. Crystal ball, oracles, so to speak, since the beginning of time. Okay, awesome. Yes, thank you so much again.
Ding, 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 ding.
Would anybody like a reading? If anybody would like a reading, feel free to put your question down in the chat. It looks like it's ad time, you guys. It looks like we're getting ready
Okay, here's ad time.
to do some ad, okay? Because we got our sponsor here, Uber Bike. It is ad time. It is ad time. Let's see.
How much do you think I could buy an ad during Amanda's show for Fusion Studios?
Let's get started with this. And if you guys have any tarot questions, feel free to drop your question below. On behalf of Uber Bike, I would love to give you a reading, okay? So feel free to drop your questions below. Alrighty.
It's ad time. 50 bucks? You think that much? For 700 views? That seems kind of high to me. Oh, 350.
First there was man, and then there was woman, and then something else happened. COVID-19.
This is the ad? Is the COVID-19 thing
And
again?
then men and women were no longer together. They became separated. And now technology keeps them apart. Is that right? Yes, that is right, Amanda. It's really social isolation and humans.
Well, I would hope if I paid for an ad, it'd have a little bit more professionalism in it than this.
Complicating it. Really? It's just social isolation and humans overcomplicating it? I promise we don't realize how much social isolation never ended back in 2020, and we are now in a culture of forever social isolation, and that's the real problem. What? What? This is crazy. What?
No, it's just her ad break. What do you mean this is scary? What's scary about it? fuck is this show, man?
Whoa!
Whoa!
What is that in the sky? No, my flashlight died. Oh, there it is. What is that in the sky?
What is that in the sky?
What is that in the sky? It says girlfriend guys for guys in the sky. And it says donate to the Anything But OnlyFans Fund. And it says to buy a tarot reading and get coaching from me. I'm a few candidate and I work with both boys and men.
This is the ad? What the fuck? Because that's what guys who watch this kind of content, at least with her energy, want from. Just like some guys want like the firm tone of that semi-fascist looking woman, you know? Like they want this goofy manic energy. I don't think she's offering to read tarot for children. She's just saying in her real life, she works in like, I'm assuming like a sociological field. So she's saying she's not just some rando, like she studied, you know, social issues or whatever, personality issues. Is this still the ad? What do you mean you don't believe? You think she's an untrustworthy person? I'm gonna start doing ad breaks like that, and I'm gonna dance on the bed.
Over, everybody. Ad time is over. Ad time is over. Now it's time to get into a tarot reading. Alrighty, you guys.
What's in an ad for? I guess her dating coach service, or just if you want to send her money, it's just a reminder that she doesn't want to do OnlyFans, so your donations help her do anything but OnlyFans.
Alrighty. And then later, ooh, look how cool that looks. Look at that. And then later, it can be bath time. All right.
Wow.
Time for a tarot reading before we get into our later segments. Whew.
Woo.
I am out of breath, everybody. There are oracles in the Old Testament.
No, wow. There's your synchronicity. That's the title of the stream, is the Divine Female Oracles of YouTube.
Intuition is as old as time. Period. Absolutely. Yes, yes.
Period.
Yes, shout out Uber Bike.
Can we see Uber Vikes tongue depressor again?
Hey Amanda, can you pull a tarot and
So she paid herself to do the ad? Yeah, I guess. Or like, you know, whatever that. I don't understand the getting up on the bed and like the skiing motions as far as being part of the ad.
Talk about building self-esteem and trusting yourself. I'm looking to build self-efficacy, but trust is a roadblock and I often procrastinate. I got you. Alrighty, everybody. Let's get into some readings.
Isaiah's cyberspace.
Alrighty. Let me turn up the music. The spiritual music. Alrighty. Okay. Whew. Okay. Alrighty. What's going on here for Isaiah? What does Isaiah need to know? What does Isaiah need to hear? And also, you guys.
Do you want to watch a video by Isaiah's Cyberspace?
If the stream ever gets.
I've got one right here, 6 minutes, 3 seconds, and I don't want to tell you the title because I don't want to influence your decision, but he's a leader of the economic revolution of the century. This is the spot where I share my insights, broadcast my endeavors, and learn to enjoy my life. Welcome. He's got 180 views, 14 subscribers. Hang on, I got to get back to the chat. I'm on Isaiah's page.
Boring. We have Batman message in a bottle, okay, for later segments.
That's the only kind of, I would agree, gobbledygook. The only kind of downside I see to her is that it does feel very targeted, you know what I mean? It doesn't, I think she is authentically a goon, but I think that, like, you know, she feels pretty performative at times.
After we do our prayer for Gen Alpha, because if we don't pray for them, no one else will, baby. We know what it's like to get left behind. So
we know what it's like to get left behind, baby.
Pray for them. All right. Isaiah, what do you need to know?
Well, I tell you what, let's get the reading, and then you let me know if you want to watch his video to see how it lines up.
You need to hear. Isaiah. Yes.
And yes, I am giving Amanda way more time than everybody else, but I think she's by far I think one person is more Kino, but in a much different way, but I think she's the shining star of the genre.
Isaiah, what I'm seeing for you, King, is coming through very clear. So you're going to have to make some decisions about the future and be really decisive about it. I don't think we realize sometimes as humans how naturally indecisive we can be when it comes to making a decision. But you see those boats standing behind him? This to me is like, how do you make a decision about which direction to go in the future? Because the reason why things feel up in the air right now isn't because you aren't actually gaining self-independence and you aren't actually building something. You very much are, but there are just some decisions that need to be made. Like, am I going to go from point A to point B? What's the literal plan? Not just, I can maybe do this or I can maybe do that. It's saying, what's the literal plan? Because you are already planting those seeds, okay? You're not behind, or as behind as you might think. And with the King of Wands,
you are behind, Isaiah, but not as far behind as you think.
And the Sun card underneath, I hope that whatever you're doing, whatever plans you make, is actually very much going to be helpful for your inner child.
Oh my God! Speaking of synchronicities, guess where Shira? She just landed in the United States. Guess what she came here for? VidCon.
Do what feels good on a spiritual and emotional level. If you're having trouble making the decision, have conversations with yourself, but lean into what feels good, because nothing can get started until that decision is made. And in fact, sometimes this card is about perfectionism, like wanting things to be perfect so we don't take that first step. Let me see. And let me know, Isaiah, how this is resonating, or if you have any questions about that. Building self-esteem. Building self-esteem.
No, VidCon. Yeah, it's what Eric McHenry is always going on about. Like, that's the thing he's always trying to get back to. But supposedly something happened where he offended some people or something. But that's his, like, one of his loops is always, we're going to get to VidCon. We're going to get to VidCon. Shira's actually living Eric McHenry's dream life.
Building self-esteem. Building self-esteem.
She's stalling for time. Come on, Amanda. This is the entertainment business. Yeah, she just landed. She's from Australia, I think.
Sometimes, so I see you going through like an ending right now of
I'll be right
sorts.
back.
So it's only going to get better from here. But sometimes our self-esteem can feel so low because when we first meet people or when we're around people, or whether this is in regards to people or certain decisions, we don't actually trust our gut. We don't actually listen to our intuition. We go against what our body is telling us to do. So, in order to build self esteem, you have to stop going against yourself and start going more into what it is you actually want to do. Because sometimes we fight what we know is best for ourselves. And I just see this Isaiah serving as a spiritual almost reminder to stop fighting what it is that you actually need. To stop going against yourself and to lean into what you're actually wanting to create for yourself, because with the Page of Wands coming through, I do see creativity and passion and all that good stuff coming back from you. Also, just get more grounded. Part of the reason why we sometimes get indecisive is we just spend so much time like on our phones and getting overwhelmed. So becoming more grounded is going to help you with that. Not saying you're not grounded already. I do think that you are, but just becoming more less time on the phone and more time just in your own thoughts type of energy. I also see Page of Swords. You may be looking back at certain past relationships and being like, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I say that? But with the Page of Swords, I'm getting that you will have your chance, if that makes any sense. Isaiah, let me know if this resonates. Let me know if you have any extra questions to ask about this. Yeah, and we even have Empress, like in the Hanged Man. So the Empress could be mom energy. It could be saying that you need to take better care of yourself, or it could be that there's like a lack of feminine belief in you that creates a lack of follow through in choosing certain decisions. So it's just about like noticing the childhood pattern there, I would say. But yes, I see you gaining your strength and I see you doing a lot by yourself. So don't
even if you don't like her kind of manic energy, what do you think about the advice she's giving?
Feel bad for reaching out to people to help you, because I see you doing this journey a lot on your own. So whenever there is an opportunity to get help,
she's like, I think I see you being alone most of the time.
I would lean into those opportunities.
What do you think? Do you want to watch the video of Isaiah Cyberspace? It's only 6 minutes.
Don't ignore people that want to help you, basically, because you're going to be gaining a lot of strength on your own. So you're going to need as much help as you can get, in other words. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Isaiah,
or I guess we could just sample it and see what we think.
Let me know if that resonated with you or if you had any questions about that. And thank you so much, Uberbike, for the donation. If you guys would like a tarot reading, feel free to donate literally any amount, and I would absolutely love to give you a reading. COVID-19 gave people the time to get stuck in social media rabbit holes of terrible advice. Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely. Let me ask Zizi.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Zizi,
my God.
How do you feel about that? Oh, I don't like those rabbit holes. Rabbit holes are for rabbits, not for people. Wow. Wow, it's just this guy. Wow.
It's a fake witch selling. Look at her eyes. Wow. Amanda is an she may be an Apex in training.
Batman, yes, I literally don't have bat ears, so we're...
All right, give me a second. Let me bring up Isaiah Cyberspace. This video is called Triangle of Reality. Isaiah Cyberspace.
Hello, Team Heart. I'm here to bestow my wisdom upon you guys. There's one lesson that I have, and it may be the most important lesson I have for you, is that your belief system is the bedrock of your reality. I'm not trying to say this to sound nice or to like motivate you the same way that the videos that we've been watching on Mamba Mondays have been trying to motivate us. I'm trying to give you the practical understanding of why.
So again, if you missed the context, like this is the guy who just got this tarot card read by Amanda.
The management of your beliefs is going to shape your reality. Look at this pyramid I drew on my wall. I put belief as the foundation. I purposely did that because every aspect of your reality that you can control, it's built upon your belief. From 3 years of therapy plus, I've learned that your beliefs directly shape your thoughts, i.e.,
which is that kind of makes sense why he's attracted to Amanda, because she shares that like our beliefs and COVID-19 are what are tearing men and women apart.
If you believe you can't do something, your thoughts will reflect that. In short, beliefs shape.
Isn't it his mic? Maybe he doesn't want to hold it like an e-girl.
You think about yourself, your potential, and your abilities. Next layer up, we have our thoughts. If you believe you can do something, your thoughts will start to align with that belief. You think in terms of...
All right, no offense to this guy, but I've had enough.
We're pretending that these are bat ears.
I need more Amanda.
Batman, girlfriend for Chads. That is not true. That is a projection.
Girlfriend for Chads.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, flat as a pancake. Oh, it's the same guy, Dev Pike.
Thank you. I did not skip Ray's messages. I did not skip Ray's messages. Perhaps, Ray, you can join me for a stream interview. Perhaps we can do that. Jester Maxing. Everything she says, she can't back up. Zizi, is that true? Is that true? It sounds like it could be the very thing that everybody is talking about. Social isolation being the true enemy.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Do you know about the synagogue of Satan?
I don't worship Satan or anything like that. How can someone love you when you don't love yourself? It's not about loving ourselves perfectly. It's just about not abandoning yourself. Listen, we are always going to have problems with ourselves as humans. Like, we're never going to be perfect with our parts. The goal isn't to be a perfect person. The goal is to just not abandon yourself. Because whenever you abandon yourself is when you're going to choose a relationship.
Yeah, I just think she's like, her personality's interesting. I like her energy. It's much different, I feel like, than her videos.
That goes south. Whenever you're like, I don't like every part of myself, but I accept it. The key isn't self-love as much as it is self-acceptance. And you guys will come to learn that.
You'll come to learn that. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
You guys will come to see. The key isn't as much self-love as much as it is self-acceptance.
Here we go. Ad time again.
I am an MSW candidate and I work with boys and men. Go to girlfriendguideforguys.org if you would like coaching from me. And donate to the Anything But OnlyFans.
Manger babies.
That's fun.
Girlfriend guide for guys. It is. It's very weird.
One day there was man, and then there was
Oh
woman,
my God, this.
and they were meant to be up until a little something called COVID-19. Now they are separated. Can I fly? Girlfriend, God, oh God.
This makes zero sense. Do you think it's just like, what do you think her? I don't know. Maybe it's something in her lore that makes some of this make sense. Do you think it's just she's just appealing because she knows guys, or like she's appealing to them this way because she knows guys like, silliness, I guess? The COVID-19 thing cracks me up.
I'm an NSW candidate, okay? Girlfriendguideforguys.org if you'd like me to help you.
I'm a serious person.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, I would love to have a Bray Bray on for a stream. I would love to. I'd love to. Thank you so much for the donation. We gotta make you a
Yeah, she's got her leather boots on.
popsicle stick, baby. Thank you so much for a donation. Whew. I'm sweating.
G Thanks is gonna go get his name on one of those tongue depressors.
You guys, it is like Kitty, about your struggle with slows, how do you stop it?
Let's see how she ends. Oh, it looks like she ends with a dance party.
What is that in the sky? It says to donate now to Girlfriend Guide for Guys. Ooh. What is that in the sky? It says to subscribe and get coaching from me with the link below.
This is just, it's so... Why is this so weird to me? I feel like we watch so much just completely unhinged stuff. Is it just because it's so like inexplicable of what we're seeing? I would say she would probably collab with the Thorpes. They've got quite a few followers.
Thank you, everybody, for your support.
All right, that's a feel for like what her live streams are like. Here's one of her actual like advice videos.
How do you survive something like social isolation?
Hang on, I gotta fix something on my end real quick.
And are women's expectations really that high, or is it the mere fact that we are so socially isolated? Like, where is a lot of our mental hangups? I'm sorry, my film setup is so bad. Okay. Where is our actual mental hangups as a society? Is it in the fact that women's expectations are too high? Let's ask Zizi. Zizi, what do you think? Are women's expectations too high? No, it is in fact because we are all so socially isolated as a society. That's where many of this stems from.
Yeah, as South to West would say, she seems like a sweet lady.
Because it's not natural, it's not normal for humans to be as socially isolated as we are. We don't realize how much mental illness.
She's motivated, she's ambitious, she puts her, plan into action.
Actually stems from the mere fact that since COVID-19, men and women have been separated from each other.
Yeah, but we're not isolated because we're all together, all 9 of us.
So, yes, I think that's part of the truth. But the other aspect is, how do you handle it? How do you get through something like social isolation? And the truth is, you don't. You actually don't. So what do I mean by this? You have to take into account any mental illness or anything that you have going on. You have to learn to separate what is actually real in my reality and what is my mental illness from my social isolation, because it is so not normal to be socially isolated, and not in like a you're weird way. I've been there myself. So let's talk about it. I'm somebody, I've struggled with an eating disorder. And the thing about eating disorders is because so much of our culture involves like food and this type of thing, and I had control issues around that stemming from my childhood due to my own neglect and social isolation as a child. What this would do is this would then create like an eating disorder and that type of thing. And because I had this, I was never around people for years at a time, deep in social isolation. I've said this before on my channel, but
what do you think about all the views they're getting recently, Fred? They did post that YouTube sent them like a bunch of swag.
COVID for me started way before COVID-19. So, post COVID-19 world, it's crazy up in here. And if you guys would like to talk to me, I am an MSW candidate, coaching link below. But the reality is, how did I make it through? You have to find one safe person to talk to, whether it's a virtual therapist or a coach, link below. But you need to get your mental sanity. You got to get those pieces of the white light. Imagine you're in a dark tunnel. You need the windows of the white light as often as you can get them, or you're going to continue to go crazy, is basically the way that it is. So have one safe person that you talk to. That's the way I feel about it. Number 2, give yourself a lot of grace. It is not natural, not normal to be in solitary confinement in this way, and it is not easy to meet people. Give yourself some grace. You are not behind. We are in a different world. You are not behind. Societal expectations no longer matter because we're living in chaos right now.
The thing that makes me think that it might be is just because I have read so many stories about faking it till you make it and it working, and like it would just be, I feel like it would become at a certain point prohibitively expensive to continue doing it,
So that's the first thing. And then you have to do something that allows you that piece of freedom. For me, it's dancing, or it's going on the swings, or it's taking a train, or it's driving, or it's riding a bike. Those things. You need.
Exactly. It's a synchronicity too, because I was just reading a Discord message from Grace.
To find what your inner child activity is
And you need to do that all the time. And with that being said, I will see you guys in a future video. Thank you so much for listening. You are not alone.
So you can kind of see her personality a little bit, but like, in my opinion, nothing like in the live.
Coaching link below. I would love to help you men.
Hey Armani, this is Girlfriend's Guide for Guys. We've watched her before, but only a couple times, I think, on Boy Watch Live.
Out there that are struggling. Mwah.
We got one more video from her too. It's called Women. She talks about how women activate her autism or trigger her autism.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Amanda, as in who's that? Oh man, duh. And I'm here to hopefully make it as your future wingman, duh. Okay, I got some high shoes on. Okay, feel free to screenshot that if you have a foot fetish. I'm just
Wow.
Just kidding. Just kidding. With the heels on, I'm 6 foot. Now I'm 6'4". Okay.
Whoa, buddy, what?
Okay, we're getting. Just kidding. With the heels on, I'm 6 foot. Now I'm 6'4". Okay, we're getting into it. This is a coloring book that I had for my client.
Wait, in heels she's 6 foot? That's not as, or is she saying she's 6 foot without heels and now she's 6'4"?
Both adult and children clients, back when I did more private practice stuff.
I agree, Terrapin Fred, and also I feel like they would be under, if anything, more scrutiny than most channels rather than less, since they have such a dedicated hater base.
Before working in a school, whatever. And so today we're going to be coloring a page talking about my old toxic female friendship that I had when I was in high school and how that kind of messed me up for my relationship with women, so to speak. Grab a jacket before we really get into this. Hopefully we can finish like a cat today. That would be awesome. Since we're talking about women.
Oh boy.
Do you get it? Because the other term for a cat, I'm not
6
gonna
foot
say
without
it.
heels?
Oh,
That's impressive.
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. But the point on this channel is that if I don't help you guys heal trauma from women, then how are you going to feel safe to have women in your life if you desire a relationship? It's not necessarily a choice to not feel safe around women, or it's not like you're necessarily waking up every single day and you're just telling
Here's a
yourself,
link to
oh,
one of her streams, Armani.
I'm gonna have a really hard time in this lifetime feeling good and not
She got a struggle session with that zebra puppet.
angry towards women, because at the end of the day, with my female friend from high school, she caused me a lot of anger towards women. She was this blonde bombshell type, very
Blonde bombshell?
tan, very out there in terms of personality. She would yell at me in public.
Wow.
Kind of embarrass me. I remember one time let's say we were at a carnival and we were waiting in line to go on a ride, and I was too nervous to go on the ride. And she basically like itched me out. Okay, I can't say the word on YouTube, but term for a female dog. She itched me out in front of everybody. And so much so that this dad actually like whispered to me, "Are you okay?" It was almost like being in an abusive relationship, except it was a friendship. She would call me at 6 a.m, be like, "Why aren't you at school?" Because at the time, my parents were very emotionally withdrawn and I was lacking a lot of direction and discipline. So I just would not go to school. And she actually noticed that. And I think in her own weird way of trying to care for me, she took this very disciplined approach. But it felt like I had an inner critic that was manifested in this really bleached, tan, blonde human being. That's kind of the way that it felt. And I held on to my anger, my bitterness, and my resentment towards her for far longer than she ever did towards me.
This video did really well for her. The one we just watched before this one had 1.5K views. This one's got 7.1K views.
I wasn't the best friend in the sense that I would kind of bail on things and I wouldn't show up for her, and that kind of made her very unhappy. But
Girlfriend Guide for Guys, number 4, like girlfriend guide for guys.
I could tell that this person has moved on.
Emilio
And has let this go. And I'm the only one where I feel like sometimes the fuel to my fire is to like show myself up to this person, even though it's been a long time. Like, I'm talking a long time since I was in high school. So, it's it's kind of insane. And you may be wondering, Amanda, how did you get over that anger towards her? I never really did, but I was able to move past my anger towards women because after that relationship, I did feel unsafe around women. And if I didn't know how to heal my own expectations that I would put on women and like the double standard and the pain, if I didn't know how to heal my anger towards women, how would I be able to help y'all with your anger towards
True.
women? So I definitely did, but I kind of made peace with the fact that I was never gonna fully be okay with what this female friendship did in my life when I was younger. I was never gonna be okay with that. But I kind of decided that I don't need to be angry. She doesn't need to ruin all my friendships that I have with other women. And you recontextualize this for yourself. She doesn't need to be the reason why I don't feel safe around women, and I'm not going to make new friendships with women. And so, slowly but surely, when I got to college, I started to meet women that
It's just such a unique, especially for this content type. She's just such a unique personality.
actually I felt safe around and felt really
I'm
good
sold
around.
on Girlfriend
But
Guide
it
for
was
Guys.
awkward at first. I felt fearful at times, kind of making that happen, letting myself feel emotionally close in that way. It was definitely a challenge at first, for sure. But I just told myself, like, holding on to this anger towards women,
If you donate to her, Armani, she'll put your name on a paint stick.
it's no way to live. It's no way to live. And at the end of the day, I started to experience that mirror effect after I almost said my high school friend's name out loud, but after that, I started to see more people that were like her, that had some of these toxic personality traits. And I was like, this mirror effect is not working for me anymore. Like, I have to kind of change the way I'm viewing some things. And it did help. Like, it truly did. There's always the exception to the rule, but I started to recognize the mirror in that, and that I just didn't want to be angry anymore. It's no way to live, and it doesn't get you anything. I felt
It's
like
no
my
way to live.
anger every time was hurting me more than it's ever hurt her. And to be honest, now that I'm older and I look back and I'm more trauma informed through like
Oh, coming up next, I'd say is probably like I would rank her third overall in the space. She's really popular. Even though her content, I prefer the style of Amanda or our main eventer. I do think she's very, very over in the space is Dell's Diary.
studying social work
The
and
algorithm seems to really like her. A lot of her videos end up coming through.
everything like this. I look back at certain dynamics that she had going on in her home, and I'm not going to get into it, but
What's up, Randy?
I will say there's a lot of reasons why she behaved, in quotes, like the way that she did. And there was a lot of reasons
I'll
that
be right
she
back.
was the way that she was. And at the end of the day, I really cared about her because I wouldn't hold so much anger towards her if I didn't care about her. And knowing that I, in so many ways, have so many shortcomings and this type of thing, I don't know, like I was just kind of able to let it go and forgive her. Even though I don't think I'll ever fully get to that point, I was able to not let it continue to impact my friendships because, well, I just decided that I deserved better than that, that that wasn't something I wanted for myself, and that it's just no way to live. Holding on to this anger when this person has already moved on, it's just no way
I'm not sure how old she is, to be honest.
to live.
She's got some college, so I'm assuming she's like at least in her like early to mid 20s.
Like there are going to be people that won't treat me this way. And at the time, I was allowing her to treat me that way because I was in a vulnerable place. I was scared. I was. Anyways, with that being said, I will see you guys in a future YouTube video. Mwah.
Okay, like I said, next up is Dell's Diary. Very popular. I think she's entertaining, but like again, I prefer like either the manic energy of Amanda, or the just super super black pill energy of our main eventer, but Dell's Diary, very popular for sure.
Have you guys ever looked up at the night sky and just realized how unbelievably small you are? I remember as a kid, I would spend hours upon hours laying on my trampoline, just staring up at the night sky and wondering what could all be out there, wondering if maybe somewhere out there was a civilization looking up at their own night sky and asking themselves the same questions. I've spent a lot of time wondering about the possibility of different dimensions that maybe we just don't have the senses to perceive. Something I also think a lot about is time. Like, is it really happening in the way that we think it is? Honestly, it's so crazy that any of us are even here to begin with. And we know so much, but yet we also know so little. And I feel like the older I get, the more fascinating all of these questions become. There truly is just something so humbling about something as simple as just taking the time to look up at the sky in the night. And it really can put into perspective how minuscule we really are. Like, guys, we live on this giant rock flying through space around this giant ball of fire. And this giant ball of fire is just one star out of hundreds of billions in our galaxy alone. And our galaxy is just one among billions. There are planets out there with things that we have never seen, things that we probably could never even comprehend. There could be life forms out there unlike anything that we could have ever imagined.
What's up? It's me.
There could be entire dimensions that our brains just are not equipped to understand. Hi everyone, we're in a new location. I'm just hopping on here again because I just thought of a really good example of this. This is
China World Buffet.
This is something that I think about all of the time, actually. So imagine a two-dimensional being living on a sheet of paper. They would have the ability to move left and right, forwards and backwards, but they would lack any perception of depth. So they would lack the ability to move up and down. And that's not because it doesn't exist, but because they just completely lack the ability to perceive any of that. So who's to say that we're not the same way? Like, there could be things going on all around us that we just don't have the ability to perceive. Like, these are the kinds of things that I think about all of the time, and it really can drive you crazy. Another big one for me is, what if time isn't linear? I remember watching the show called The Haunting of Hill House, and at the end of the show, there's this big reveal that time is not linear. It's all just happening simultaneously, and that really changed the way that I think about things. Like, what if? I one time saw someone compare our lives to a book as an example of this, and they were talking about how if you were holding a book, how like the whole story is already laid out there. It already all exists. And I think they said something like, what if there are beings in some other dimension that are viewing us in this way? Mind-blowing.
You don't like Dell's Diary? Humble King, it's me.
Stuff, right? Or maybe you guys just think I sound like some kind of a crazy person. Honestly, I probably do, but I don't even care. These are the kinds of things that fascinate me. These are the kinds of things that make me feel truly alive when I think about them. Lately, I've been trying to navigate this strange paradox.
Very well-kept car interior, like, for real. Like, pretty flawless.
Of learning how to fully love and accept myself now for who I am in this moment, while also trying to grow into a better version of myself tomorrow. I have always held myself to ridiculously high standards, and whenever I didn't meet those standards, I would really beat myself up.
We've watched her a couple times, but it's like few and far between.
About it. I would obsess over every little mistake that I made, every flaw that I had, every awkward interaction. I spent years feeling like I wasn't enough. I became really hyper aware of how other people saw me. I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to stand out for the wrong reasons. I really started outsourcing my self-worth. I would tie it to things like my appearance, my accomplishments, my relationships, what other people thought of me, whether I was liked, whether I was accepted, whether people approved of me. And you know, it is completely normal to want to be liked, but it really wasn't okay how I let
Welcome
it
back, G.
determine
Thanks.
how I viewed
I mean, I like Dell's Diary. I just feel like I like her subject matter. Her delivery is kind of, I don't know. I just feel like I prefer like the more colorful in one way or another personalities. But like this particular video is fantastic. I like the topic is amazing.
myself. I would treat my self-worth like something that could be earned, something that could be gained or lost. And while I've had a lot of experiences over my life that has changed the way that I view that, I will say that posting on the internet has been a bit of a test of that mindset. When I started this channel, I honestly did not think that anybody was gonna watch my videos. I didn't think that anybody would care what I had to say. Hey guys, it's Delilah. I highly doubt anyone will ever watch this. But eventually, people started to watch, people started to care, and I am so grateful for that. But I will say that something I wasn't prepared for was all of the hate that I got. I did not expect people to be making videos about me, critiquing me in the ways that I have been critiqued. I didn't expect that I'd be opening YouTube up and seeing a thumbnail with my face plastered on it.
Oh no.
And even right now, like, I feel like my channel is not big enough to the point where there should be so many videos being made about me. It's kind of crazy because there is a lot. There is a lot of
No, I don't think so. I think you're thinking of Caden, maybe.
people invested in this. There is a lot of
Flexum won't be in this stream. Flexum's not really like a philosopher or an advice giver. She's more of like vibe and eye candy.
people invested in my life, which is insane. People like to critique things about my appearance. People like to make assumptions about my life that aren't true. I've pretty much been called every name in the book at this point. And at first, that was really shocking to me because, like I said, I didn't think anybody was gonna watch my videos. I'm just this girl from the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, this was a bit hard to deal with, but I realized that I'm not hurting anybody. I am just a person coming on here, and I'm not pretending to be anyone or anything that I'm not. It's not like I'm making these controversial videos that are harming anybody. You know, I stay in my own lane. I'm not bothering anyone. I'm just trying to be a good person. I try to be a better person every single day. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to grow.
Well, we come in peace, Dell's Diary. We're not here to overly critique you.
Oh, I'm trying to create things. I'm trying to
We're just learning about your creative space.
contribute something positive to the world. So if someone doesn't like me, you know what? That's okay. I don't need everybody to like me. Self-worth is not an achievement. It's not a reward. It's not something that appears when enough people approve of you. It's something that every human being inherently has. After realizing this, I've been learning how to stop taking myself so seriously, not like in a negative kind of way, but in a freeing way, because when you really stop and just take a moment to look up at the sky and see how minuscule you are, you start to realize how incredibly small all of these things that we obsess over really are. The embarrassing thing you said, the mistake you made, the opportunity you missed, the stupid comment that someone made about you on the internet. The thing that you're losing sleep over right now, in the scheme of things, how important is it? 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 1,000 years from now, 100,000 years from
No, but she's saying that like people, she's sensitive to like people making videos about her. So hopefully she knows this one is made with the utmost respect.
From now. And oddly enough, that realization, it doesn't make life feel meaningless to me, but miraculous. When you realize that nothing lasts forever, you're not gonna last forever, someday nobody's ever gonna remember you. Every moment becomes so much more valuable. The fact that I get to drink a cup of coffee in the morning, the fact that I get to hear birds singing, the fact that I get to walk through the woods and watch sunlight filter through the trees, the fact that I get to laugh with people I love, pet my dog, call my family, go to concerts and scream every lyric, watch the seasons change, experience this bizarre, beautiful thing called consciousness. None of that is guaranteed. And lately, I have been reminded of this more than ever because I have been dealing with a lot of health issues. Anybody who's watched my channel for any amount of time know this already, but When you get sick and your health becomes uncertain, you really learn how to appreciate things. Having enough energy to go for a walk, that suddenly becomes a gift. All of the little things that you used to take for granted, being able to do something that maybe you haven't been able to do in a long time, like all of the
Oh yeah, the time passage rant, definitely McHenry coded.
little things, I started feeling so much gratitude towards them. And honestly, maybe that's how we're supposed to live. Not constantly chasing the next achievement, not worrying about what some stranger said about us on the internet, not endlessly critiquing
I don't know. I don't speculate on stuff like that.
ourselves, but actually experiencing the life that's happening right now. And when you think about it, the odds of any of us being here right now are so incredibly slim that it's hard to
True.
comprehend. Think about every event that had to happen for you to exist. Every decision, every generation, every coincidence, and somehow, despite all of the odds, you're still here. You're conscious. You're alive. You get to experience existence. You get to feel love. You get to feel awe. You get to witness sunsets and thunderstorms and forests and oceans. You get to stare into the night sky and wonder, and maybe that's enough. Life is meant to be experienced. Life is about
Based.
loving people deeply, about making mistakes, about learning, about growing, about helping others, about creating memories, and leaving the world a little better than you found it. Someday, not even all
Leaving the void a little better than you found it.
that long from now, me and all of you will be forgotten. No one will remember that embarrassing thing that you did. No one will remember that random person on the internet that judged you. The stars will keep burning. The universe will keep expanding. And life will continue. And even though that is so humbling, I also find it incredibly comforting because it means that we don't have to
That's primarily by choice. If Savvy would looks match, he could get a woman, and if Jay the Doll King could put up with the fact that women fart, he could find a girlfriend too.
carry all of this weight. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to get everything right. We just have to live and love and appreciate the miracle of being here at all.
Luke West felt love and it ruined
This
him.
is honestly one of the most liberating things that I've ever realized. Like, nothing matters.
Until we're dead, then all those memories vanish as if they never really happened. True, but I mean that's kind of the point of it, right? Is that it's for us. It's not the memory even. It's the experiential, moment in time. Who else was talking about living in the moment earlier? I can't remember.
But that's why everything matters. Thanks to anyone who made it to the end of my rambling. I hope that this
Up next is who I think is the undisputed GOAT of this space. Doomer Queen Shelby exists and creates amazing content. I think the most Kino creator and the most artistic creator, literally and figuratively, in the space. But a much different vibe than most of the people that we've watched.
this video resonated with you in some way and maybe even brought you
If the experience can't be recalled, does that matter? I think that's up to each individual person. We've had this discussion before in a similar discussion in the context of if you could have a perfect cookie that was the absolute best, perfect, most the ideal taste of a cookie to whatever that was for you, and it was like the greatest tasting thing ever, but you could never taste it a second time, that was it. Would you eat the cookie? Kind of tells what kind of a person you are. Do you want to experience the best tasting cookie ever? Or are you the kind of person who's like, well, I don't want to take a bite because I don't want it to ruin future cookies for me?
you a little comfort. It truly is a miracle to be here on this planet and to be able to look up at the stars and wonder. I don't know,
The
maybe
first
I
girl.
sound like some kind of a crazy person, but these are the things that go on in my head and the things that I wonder about and I dream about.
All right, we're almost to Shelby,
I guess that's all I've
who
got
we watched one time on Boy Watch Live, and people did not respond well to her. So, but I think she deserves another run through.
for today, so I'll see you in the next one.
Is anyone else just not afraid of death? You're only afraid of dying? Because honestly, I can't wait until this whole life is over. I'm kind of sick and tired of living, and it's not like I'm going to unalive myself or anything like that, but it's like the day this is over is the day I will finally be released from this living hell. I'm only afraid of dying a painful death. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. I really hope I just fall asleep and don't wake up one day, but what do you guys think? Leave a comment below if you're not afraid of death. Oh, life is a gift. Life is a blessing. Because where is the receipt? Where is the gift receipt? Where can I return this? Can I take it to Whole Foods? Can I take it to an Amazon drop-off and return this shit? Because I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Life is not a gift. If this is the gift of life, then I want to return it to sender immediately. I don't want it. It's the wrong size. It doesn't fit me. I'm done with it. Please let me get out of this shit. They tell you that anybody can chase their dreams, but what they don't tell you is that for most people, it won't come true. And I think this goes without saying, right? But wherever there's a dreamer, there's
Shelby is an absolute doomer queen.
A grifter trying to sell you a dream. And I think a lot of us who struggle with depression and maybe even neurodivergence in general fell for the trap of what can only be described as self-improvement culture or hustle culture. And self-help for me was like this binge journey. I had no confidence to judge what I was being told. But at the same time, I felt like nothing that they were saying really applied to me. I didn't really resonate with the teachings. But I felt like it was my fault that the self-improvement stuff wasn't working. And it never really reflected how I thought. So even in that group, I felt like an outcast. And I didn't really have the money to invest. And I felt like I didn't really even associate it at the time, but they were really using high pressure sales tactics to sell these courses. And thank God I didn't have the money to put into it. Otherwise, I would have been out thousands of dollars. I mean, the self-help scene is far from infallible. We have things like Andrew Tate, Hamza.
Her page is Shelby Exists and Creates Things, I think, or something like that. If you type in Shelby Exists, she should come up.
Gary Vee even, who are all like work your face off type thing. And I think a lot of times it's like there's an assumption when it comes to self-help that you are able-bodied enough to apply the teachings and able-minded enough to apply the teachings. And a lot of times that these people don't really understand that when it comes to sales especially, it's all about how you look. It's all about appearances. And if you don't have that level of pretty privilege or that level of gregariousness, then...
Wow, what a word, gregariousness.
It's pointless. The problem with a lot of self-help books is that they're all about conformity, I feel like. And there's something called the locus of control, right? And they talk about this in self-help where if you have an external locus of control, you feel like everything is affecting you. If you have an internal locus of control, you feel like you are affecting everything else. And they kind of teach you to have an internal one. But I would argue that that involves being really privileged in order to have total control over your environment. And society is never the problem. You are the problem. And in order to succeed in life, you must give up all form of pleasure and individuality and leisure to do what people expect of you. And I think they have this message because it's easier to change yourself than it is to change society. To me, a good self-help book will teach you how to succeed in spite of society. But I feel like none of it is really about finding your true self. It's all about improving and making money, and none of it is really about finding inner peace, I guess you could say. All these people do is really sell you a dream and then sell you a course. And every self-help person I see...
We have heard about some courses over the run of these videos.
I immediately associate them with scams, honestly. I see scam artists instead of self-help gurus, and I think most times they're the same thing nowadays. Like, back in the day, it was like get-rich-quick schemes. And now the get-rich-quick scheme is telling people that they have to work their face off to get rich. I feel like get-rich-quick schemes have evolved to become self-help people selling courses and then you buying them. And the only people getting rich are the ones selling the courses, obviously. And if it's not working for you, you're doing it wrong. That's kind of the overarching thing in self-help, is that it should work for everybody, and we have evidence that it has worked for some people. But the people that it worked for, it's kind of like a multi-level marketing scheme. I think A lot of times I think self-help is like the male version of a multi-level marketing scheme where it's like you have the people at the tippy top who did succeed and then everybody else at the bottom is like struggling. It reminds me a lot of like certain religions where it's like if you don't believe in God, it's your
Like her mannerisms crack me up.
fault that God isn't working for you or whatever.
Very
And
McHenry
it's
coded.
just so gaslighty. It's so invalidating. I feel like self-improvement just makes me sad because I feel like a lot of times people can isolate themselves in the name of self-improvement.
Isolation.
And it's this perpetual thing of like never being good enough almost. It almost exploits people who don't feel like they're enough. And as someone that felt like I wasn't enough, I felt like self-improvement could be a way for me to feel better about myself, but really it just made me feel like I was in a constant state of lack. Self-improvement is kind of addicting. It gives people a false sense of reality as if they're working towards something big, and a huge problem with it can cause arrogance. And then they'll start to look down upon the average person. And I never really got to that point, but I guess you
I like how she just like almost thinks she could fall asleep at any second.
I feel like you are now in a category that's more special, and it kind of makes you other people who like to watch TV and work a 9-to-5 job and have a regular ass life. And it's like, I'm destined for more. But it's like, are you really? Because like 5 years later, I'm still in the same spot for more job and have a regular ass life. And it's like, I'm destined for more. But it's like, are you really? Because like 5 years later, I'm still in the same spot personally. The culture surrounding self-improvement is really the most dangerous thing. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself in terms of getting into shape, in terms of being your best self, all that. But you don't improve your life by doing more, you improve it by doing less of what doesn't matter. And as someone that does a lot of what doesn't matter, I feel like that is kind of true. I feel like we look for these David Goggins moments, these big cinematic moments of like, stay hard, I'm running 1,000 marathons with bare feet and carrying a bunch of rocks. It's like
she truly is the Doomer Queen.
I think the big self-improvement happens slowly over time. It's not linear.
She has a lot of haters. I guess like she lives in like a really nice, like high-end gated community and stuff like that, but I don't give a shit. As long as the content's good, who cares?
The 1% improvement every day.
Luke's the same way, living the good life in his parents' garage while giving everybody financial advice.
And sometimes it feels like self-improvement is less about growth and more about being trapped in this cycle of not feeling good enough. I feel like the internet and social media has turned everything into a commodification, like something you have to optimize until you just forget how to live. I feel like real growth is quieter than that. Real growth is like a tree growing. A tree, as long as it's in the right environment, will grow. I don't think the vast majority of us were ever really that smart or that worth anything to begin with, to be honest. I feel like social media just that smart. I don't think the vast majority of us were ever really that smart or that worth anything to begin with, to be honest. I feel like
she doesn't think most people were worth anything to begin with. Amazing.
Media just showed us that we're pretty mediocre. And I think self-improvement became really important or pertinent or popular recently because of social media showing us that a lot of people have more than us. And recently, we only really saw celebrities having more than us. It was like a separate...
Well, and also you're competing with people if you're of that mindset, it's not a fair competition. You know what I mean? Like people on social media will completely curate what you see of their life, and like that little slice that you see, you don't know what it looks like if the camera turned around. So like you're trying to compete with an idealized fantasy version of somebody's life, which if you keep trying to compete with that back and forth, it just ends up becoming completely untenable.
Class of people. But now you have access to all these people who have more than us, and it's pretty crazy.
Like you can see the nice car, you can see the nice shit on the walls, or like nice gaming equipment or PC equipment, but like they're not showing their credit card bills or their you know what I mean? Like just because people have nice shit on social media doesn't mean that you are getting the entire picture.
Because it really messes with the human mind to realize that in terms of the status hierarchy, we're actually lower than we ever thought. I feel like self-improvement is deduced from a false belief that it's your fault what you get in life. The truth is it's not about us, it's about the system. I truly believe that we are outside of the control of, or most of the results of our life is outside of our control. Like, for example, like where you live is basically reserved to where you're born. And it's so hard to move out these days. I mean, the system is failing a lot of people, and they don't even attest to the fact that you might have a disability. There's such an ableistic vibe when it comes to self-improvement. It's gotten absorbed into the hive mind of trendification. It's very trendy to do self-improvement. It's no longer about being a healthy and fulfilling hobby. Most people just do it because some influencer on social media called them a loser for not waking up early and taking cold showers, but I feel like Atomic Habits, which is one of the big self-help books, I've read it. I cannot really get behind it. I understand the 1% improvement thing a day is like really good, but like I can't build habits the way they explain the book. It's just another performance fueled by social media standards, FOMO, pride and ego. They do it so that they can say they live the lifestyle and show off on social media.
Because you can't really show on social media in like the way that you can show like a big TV or whatever. You can't really show like, I guess maybe by not being on social media is kind of the bigger flex than anything, probably. Like that's how you show like that you don't even have that on your mind, like because you've got so much going on in your life or whatever.
I guarantee you that a lot of these people
Cold
that were
showers. What's
successful
up,
back
Media
in the
Hits?
day, or like pre-pandemic in terms of self-improvement, are in debt.
Pre-pandemic.
I don't know how they could keep it up. And that being said, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the influencers that we see on social media are actually really wealthy. But I feel like social media in general has given us a skewed perspective on that kind of thing. I don't know if maybe you guys got into self-improvement, but I feel like women have been looks maxing our whole lives, right? So it's really interesting to me that looks maxing has just now become popular among men. And I think
women looks max to get a guy, although there is some heavy female competition. But I feel like the looks maxing thing to me is always about guys impressing other guys.
Missing the bigger problem when it comes to the problems with dating. The dating dynamics have completely changed, right? So
I think a lot of women see looks maxing as like have a lot, they sense a lot of like insecurity within it.
It's like the problem is not how you appear. It is
outside
the
a
entire
Mexican
dynamic
food truck. That's awesome.
In landscape of dating in general. And most of us are just really struggling to get anything done when it comes to dating. And that's a different topic for a different day, but a lot of self-improvement really does focus on dating. And I feel like it's almost commodified dating to make men feel like they're failures for not having multiple partners. And I feel like many self-improvement stuff is like heavily marketed, and it really does prioritize profit over actual development. Programs are expensive.
Wonder if her and Amanda have ever gotten together and talked about COVID-19.
And many self-help resources are kind of like they promise like a 6-week fix or a quick fix. And the actual transformation, it's like, do you need self-help or do you need therapy? Now, I've had my talk about talk therapy, and I don't know if talk therapy is necessarily the best thing, but I know there's a lot of somatic release workshops out there. And if I was going to go to one thing, it wouldn't be a seminar. It would be a somatic release workshop where you release anger with a practitioner. And the self-improvement industry is largely unregulated, so anybody can claim to be a coach. And many self-help authors or speakers really don't have any
Vehicular.
psychology experience. They're just speaking out of their
I'm sure you saw it, Jay, off the video where he's looking at the new nose and he's like, "Oh no, I love it, dude. I'm mogging so hard." It was like such coke.
ass in most cases. And I feel like you kind of defer to the guru, right? So there's a deference to the person that's in charge, and there's kind of this level of wanting to do it in their method, which is kind of a weird, ironic level of conformity. When self-help improvements don't yield results, it's easy to blame the program or the coach rather than examining personal factors. And the insistence on always being positive, there's a huge level of like toxic positivity.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, the world is rigged, right? I truly
Ruby Spacek is who I think about when I think about toxic positivity.
believe that the world is rigged against us.
She might be I don't know if she, I don't know what her romantic situation is like. She says she's like that. That's part of her content. Like that, I forget. She says how old she is and like that she doesn't have a boyfriend and doesn't have a future and all that kind of stuff.
And it's very difficult to.
But again, that's what we see on the show. Although she has so many haters, I bet if somebody was clapping, they'd find out.
Get ahead in a society that's like. I've tried. Like, I've done everything that I can do to improve myself, and it hasn't worked. And maybe I'm just really bitter about it, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I've personally done everything within my power. I had a meltdown today that I did not record because I was so angry and fed up with the stagnation in my life and just feeling like I'm out of control in my own life. And I feel like the lack of regulation in self-improvement means that the quality is inconsistent, that the testimonials that you're reading might be fake, or that they're from a very small percentage of people. And with
I like how it's like a happy, light, upbeat background while she says all this shit.
Oversight, I feel like it's only fair to question the legitimacy of these people. But they kind of fake legitimacy. They fake how good they are by the testimonials, by surrounding themselves with all these students. And it's kind of propaganda in a way. I feel like unqualified individuals can spread misinformation and harmful practices. And there's a lack of accountability. I know a lot of these self-help gurus, like we think of a lot of these self-help gurus getting in trouble on social media, getting in trouble for harassment, getting in trouble for DV and violent crimes and stuff like that. It's crazy.
That reaction when she tells this awful thing and then she's like, it's crazy, and then just completely blank. Queen Shelby.
For DV and violent crimes and stuff like that. It's crazy.
This kind of hopelessness is the good kind. It's not particularly like weaponized, which, she's just kind of saying what she's thinking, how she feels.
And the last thing I want to do is get involved in a group of people that might be that way. But at the same time, I do want to be around creative people. I don't want to be around people that are negative necessarily.
What?
But it seems to be very trendy to almost become a coach. It's like almost being a coach almost is like a trend.
Ooh. Shots fired at Amanda.
Without the guidelines, practitioners prioritize profit, and they blame the person for not getting the most out of it. And they're very rarely would they ever refund you for that, because you'll probably pay for a workshop or something and then get nothing out of it, right? And they'll just walk off with your money. They're the one that got rich. You got scammed. And
just like OPC Don, he got scammed by an algorithm coach and he can't admit it.
I can't tell you how many self-help books I've read. I almost went to a self-help seminar, but luckily I didn't have the money to go. I thought about getting a coach or something like that. I literally thought about doing all that stuff, but thankfully I didn't do it because I didn't have the money. And I'm so glad that I didn't fall for that, because I would have just been out money and I wouldn't have done anything to improve myself at all. They sell things that are basically taught in religious texts. And I just don't think that I don't know what your guys' opinions are on self-improvement, but I feel like people like Gary Vee, they have a really good brand.
I thought after this, because Shelby is she is our content queen, but at the same time, she is kind of a, a little bit of a downer, you could say. So I thought we would end with maybe as someone that's not from this particular space, but we'd kind of have a palate cleanser with love letters from Flora.
Right. And people love the simplicity of work your face off and day trade attention.
Is this a hate watch or what? Yeah, we're just watching it. We just kind of watch and, we're not really hate watchers or love watchers. We're just kind of detached sociopath watchers.
But I feel like authenticity is being lost.
I know her emotionless reaction when she told that story was great. And then she did like just stare into the camera.
And you do all this stuff. And I think that there's more to life than going to the gym 5 times a day. And I feel like my life improved when I became vulnerable and when I started to share.
We just really like to watch interesting people, J-Dub, from like all over the like the good shit.
My authentic life rather than just trying to fix it. Because it's like, I understand that I'm messed up, but focusing on that and having that be like the center of your life, trying to avoid your deficits and stuff, I don't know if that's right. And it just turned into a really predatory like thing where I was like on these discords and stuff where I always felt like I was falling short, and they were supposed to be accountability groups, but really I just felt like I was being pushed around and bullied. So anyway, let me show you guys some of my new art.
Here's some of her art. This is kind of her side hustle.
If you guys are new here, my name is Shelby. I exist and I
Who's this?
Make stuff here on this channel.
Shelby makes stuff. There you go.
I have an Etsy.
Shelby exists and makes stuff,
which you guys can check out, where I do pet portraits. It's almost my birthday, so I have my Amazon wish list.
Okay.
In the description as well. You can follow me on Instagram.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine this one? That's the one I'd like to have out of the ones I've seen so far.
Instagram. You can...
Ooh, the Simpsons donut.
Buy me a coffee. You can leave a super thanks, or you can just leave a comment and
Who's at the wolf?
I'll try to get back to you. But
no way, a root beer? Or that's probably just a regular beer, I guess.
Your guys' opinion on self-improvement. Have you gotten any benefit out of it? Maybe it's just me.
What has having a good spirit done for you lately?
I really do feel like it's a lot of self-blame that goes into self-improvement. I feel like it's a kind of a humiliation ritual. Yeah, so that's how I feel about it. Anyway.
All right, again, before we go, we're going to have a real quick palate cleanser from Love Letters from Flora. I kind of like, I think the root beer, I really like the cookies. I feel like the cookies kind of spoke to me.
I'll have to talk to you guys later. I'll do what I can.
I'll do what I can. What a statement.
Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next one.
We'll have some affirmations from Flora.
You're doing a good job. Take a second and breathe. Just relax with me here for a second. Calm down. Good job. Take one more breath for me, okay?
You guys really don't like the nose rings. I've noticed that.
Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Relax your jaw. Relax your
love the nose ring whistle.
Do something fun. Remember that you are a person with hobbies and likes.
Remember that you're a person with hobbies and likes.
Desires. We'll do one of those. Okay. Take care of yourself.
Based from Love Letters from Flora. Thank you for hanging out and watching the divine female oracles of YouTube with me. I think Shelby's overall the most like Kino. She's so different than the other ones, and she's just so doomer, which is great. But I think Amanda is probably like the shining star of that sector. Really don't like the nose rings. A lot of nose ring hate in the chat. But I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do an all-day marathon stream of Juggalo Championship Wrestling. Then I'll be back Thursday for an update on the Heathen. We'll find out what's going on in Galveston. And then we're going to do a Juneteenth in the Boyd celebration. And then I won't be here Friday. Yeah, Shelby's definitely a heavy hitter. But anyway, thank you for hanging out, being open to something a little bit different, a different kind of themed show. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon.